an AW opener 4 years ago, 5 years ago. That's crazy to me.
Pat.
To see how much the scene has came, and to see the money that's able to play for now, amateurs and pros alike, it's crazy to me.
It's a dream come true, honestly, Pat, and you and I both could say this. I don't think when we look back from 5 years ago, looking to now, that we would see this scene grow to the way that it is right now. Like right now, guys, I'm representing Call of Duty New York, my hometown. So just to see all this opportunity for these players, it's something that excites Pat and I, and it's a big reason why we wanted to cast this tournament. So as you guys all know, there's 4 teams left in the tournament. I think each team, Pat, is guaranteed $5,000 per player. And if they were to win this next round, they'll get $10,000. And obviously, if they win the finals, they'll get $20,000, Pat.
Yep. So each round they double their prize, right? And if we go back to Toronto Ultra, I mean, hey, Diamond Con and Royalty just won the Challengers, right? They already got $10K each for winning that event. Now you're talking about adding on another $20,000 if they win this. That's $30,000 for the year just out of prize money out of 2 events, man. We didn't even do that back in the day.
Pat, we should have been playing in this gunfight tournament. I know how much work those Challenger players put in throughout the regular season. You also know it too. We both competed in Challengers. It's a grind, guys. These guys play this game from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock at night. Some of them get extra reps in with 10s just to win $10,000 in a final, as opposed to this gunfight tournament where each player who wins is going to walk home with $20,000. And I don't know how much practice these players put into this, Pat. I'm sure these Final Four teams, we only know the Toronto Ultra players. We spoke about this off camera earlier. We don't know any of the other players in this tournament, but I will not be surprised if any of those teams win it. I know you said Toronto Ultra is your favorite. Just to play devil's advocate, Pat, I'm going to go with the Dallas Empire just because they are undefeated in the round robin play right now, and they haven't lost a single map either. So not only are they undefeated, they haven't lost a map, and these 2 other teams that you said that aren't going to win outside of the Toronto Ultra also didn't lose a map either too. So I don't know what to expect, but I'm expecting something that's going to be fun, and I think we're going to see some crazy intense rounds.
Hey, Doug, and on top of that, like, they're representing some of the best teams in the world, right? You picked the Dallas Empire. I mean, hey, they're playing later today for a spot in the grand finals of the Call of Duty Championship. So, they got a little pressure there to represent the team they qualified for, but like you said, I mean, hey, Optic Gaming LA is the only team that qualified on LAN. Everyone else qualified online. So these guys have probably been putting in a lot of time in gunfight the last couple of months and weeks, and making their game the best it can be for this final.
Yeah, we were playing earlier. We were playing like 10 hours ago, late last night, just having some fun, laughing, and just playing some gunfight. And some of these players, guys, you'd be surprised. Like, you would never expect some of the players that you see in gunfight to be as talented as they are. So like you were saying earlier, you think Toronto Ultra is going to win. Personally, I'm just going to go with Dallas, and they're going to be playing against the Minnesota Rocker in the first game, Pat. I want to get your predictions for this. I know you said you don't know too much about these players and these teams, but who do you think is going to take it home in this first semifinal match?
All right, well, let's look at it. The Dallas Empire, they got Slay and KG. Those are the 2 guys. As the Rocker, they got Zuri and Triflex. And, we don't know much about those players, but I think at the end of the day, we're going to, these guys have been grinding, right? They're low key. They're trying to make a name for themselves. Even though it's gunfight, they you can recognize talent, right? So I think they're going to come out hot, and I'm going to go Dallas Empire 2-0.
You're going Dallas too, just like me. So we both have Dallas in this first one here. And as you guys can see, they're going to be playing Minnesota, Toronto, and Optic are going to be playing next after that. And Pat, you're a veteran of the scene. So walk me through this, man. If you're playing for $20,000 in this gunfight tournament, right, and you want to get this win, and you have all this pressure on you, and you're a person who's trying to make a name for yourself, because you and I both know it's very difficult these days to come out, make a name for yourself. And although this isn't competitive Call of Duty, I'm sure a lot of these players want to play on a starting roster in the Call of Duty League. This is a great way for them to set themselves up going into next year. So, Pat, if you're one of these guys right now in the semifinals match and you're about to get started, what would you be doing in this match?
I don't know, Doug. I think it's going to be interesting. Like, we're talking about gunfight when we played for fun, and even these guys have been playing, probably warming up for fun, but like, hey, there's a lot of pressure on the line now, right? There's a lot of money at stake. Before, it was just like the qualifying rounds, group play. You've been in those situations. That is not the same as being in that bracket environment where, hey, win or lose, there's money on the line now. So, for them, I think just stay calm. It's gunfight. I think it'll play a little bit slower here as you can expect. So we'll see how it plays out.
All right, so we're going to be hopping into the first round here. It looks like we're actually going to have to end the game. I don't know exactly what happened there, but like we were saying earlier, guys, this is actually played online. As you guys all know, this isn't on LAN. So normally in a normal world, guys, we would be doing this in person on LAN. We'd be able to look at these players, see their faces, look at their reactions in between these rounds. And I'm sure that the environment would be completely different. So Pat, just like you were alluding to earlier, when you're sitting at home and you're warming up in your setup and you're comfortable here, How hard is it, do you think, to get into that tournament mode? So you're sitting in your house, you're comfortable, and you just have to snap your fingers and just say, hey, I'm playing in a tournament where I could take home an extra $5,000 if I win this round, and if I win the next one, I'm going to win another $10,000. How do you flip that switch?
I mean, hey, I think it's as simple as refreshing that webpage, right? And seeing that prize pool breakdown. I mean, you see first place, that's $40,000, $20,000 each, man. And you know, I don't know the age of these guys, but hey, at any age, that's life-changing money, right? Like $20,000 over a weekend. Crazy.
I mean, you could buy a new car with that, Pat. I'm trying to think. You could buy a new car. You could pay off student loans. You could help your family out with stuff. You could catch up on credit card bills. You could do a lot with $20,000. There's a lot of money that you can invest into that. So just to show you guys the standing real quick before we get into this match, 8th place, 7th place, 6th place, 5th place, all walked home with $5,000 each. Out of all these players, Pat, I know that you said that you thought that Diabolic and the Chicago Huntsman was the early upset. I think Collinator Example was also an upset too, because the only player I know out of all of those players is Collinator. He played in the Challenger system as well, and he actually had a couple of maps where he was going off. So I'm really curious to see, specifically with the Toronto Ultra in the other semifinal match, how different these top Challenger and even pro players in the past play styles adapt to Gunfight and these other players who we haven't heard of before. And I want to see the difference between how they play the game, Pat, and how these other players play the game.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important things with Gunfight, right? I mean, you don't pick your loadout. The game picks it for you, and it changes every other round. But hey, the utility is the one thing that I think we need to focus on. I think it's going to be the biggest game changer.
It looks like KG is going to get that first blood onto Trillex. You and I both picked the Dallas Empire to win this first round. I think both of these teams, Pat, are actually undefeated.
Yeah, they are. Neither of them have dropped a map yet. And you see we're starting off with an AUG. I think stun as well on the class. Got an easy round up.
Yeah, it seemed like in that first round, both of those players wanted to push that one side. It was interesting because we played this map last night together, Pat, and I remember going up on that little ramp, and it was a really dominant head glitch off the rip. So I was actually kind of surprised to see both players in the Dallas Empire kind of just standing there, and they gave a free kill away to KG. So I'm really surprised to see how this is going to go out throughout this next round.
I'm also curious to know if these teams, you know, scrimmed or prepared against each other before this, you know, in the round robin, as you see Triflex open it up, KG with a first blood. But I mean, you know, do they kind of know each other's, you know, tendencies and routes, or are they countering each other? I wonder if they, you know, prepared at all going into this.
Yeah, Pat, how do you practice for this tournament? Do you just play pubs? Is there like a private match where they play 2v2 gunfights versus each other? Is there challenges? Like, what do you think these guys have been doing for these past couple of weeks and months, and even the entire year? I mean, this is the championship match for gunfight right here. I mean, these are the best of the world, right?
Yeah, but I mean, hey, like they got to have some sort of strategy, right? Where who wants to play on what maps and what, you know, power positions they want to go for. As you see, I mean, these top window buildings are pretty much going to be the lockdown for this map is where you got to be. But that also depends on the guns, right? Like, you know, you're going to open up these rounds with some long range gunfights, and you're probably going to see a lot of these opening duels when it comes to these assault rifles and marksman rifles.
And you guys all know too back at home, or if you don't know, I'm going to tell you now, Gunfight doesn't play like regular multiplayer plays. And Pat, you know this. When you're playing in regular multiplayer, doesn't the hit scan and the movement and the hit markers and the way that the bullets register, doesn't it feel slightly different from Gunfight?
Yeah, I mean, you're also playing with no perks. All the attachments are random. You don't you don't know what you're getting on your class. So how do you can't really predict that, and that's why it's going to feel so different. You know, I think we're opening up with an M14 and a Deagle class here. So when's the last time you used an M14 in Call of Duty?
Never. I could honestly say that I've never used an M14 in Call of Duty in my entire life. So if I was playing in this tournament right now and I use this gun for the first time, I would be shook. Specifically if I was playing for an additional $5,000. I don't know, Pat. I might have gotten a little bit nervous, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, all the classes are random every other round. So, you know, you can prepare, but at the end of the day, if you get guns that you're not good with, that's going to really affect how you play.
I really love the way Slay is playing this, Pat. It looked like he got some really bad timing. He still thinks the player's to his right because he didn't see him cross back to the left. I think he might have heard him up top. He's just going to be playing the time. This is exactly what we're talking about, Pat.
I think they're both going for the same strat to kind of bait each other out.
Are they playing for the overtime?
He hit him with that Molotov.
So it's just going to be a round draw. Okay, so they just didn't want to make a move. So that's what we were talking about earlier, Pat. When these guys are playing for a lot of money, they don't want to take any challenges where they think that they have a chance of losing the gunfight.
I think you're going to see that a lot, Doug, because you don't want to risk losing a round when you know it could just be a draw. And I think both players understand that. And why risk that in a 1v1, right?
Yeah, it looks like one of the players on Minnesota Rocker, Triflex, I'm sorry, kind of push up a little bit too early, and it looks like they're going to get the beat down. They're going to kill both of them right away. So I don't know what the strategy is there, Pat, but I feel like if you play on this side of the map and you just sit on these ramps, you have a high chance of winning the round because that's what the Dallas Empire have been doing so far.
I mean, that's a good go-to, but like we said in the pregame, the Simtex I think is what really changed that round. One of the Minnesota Rocker players rushed up, got early tagged by a Simtex, and was kind of trapped there. And the Empire players just took advantage, just rushed up instantly, got a first blood.
Triflex just got stunned. They have information on him. He's weak. He gets grenaded by KG. 2 versus 1 for the Empire. It's almost impossible to clutch in that situation. Just simply give her a pistol, Pat.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it just comes down to the utility, right? Like, we're in a round of pistols, right? Glock silences, X16s with silencers. Like, you're not really doing much with that. You have to utilize your utility as much as you can. And right there, an early stun into a Simtex kill, and then an easy 2v1 trade after that.
Not the AK, Pat. Oh, man. This AK just reminds me of some bad times. Every time I use this gun, I just feel like the aim just goes everywhere, dude. And you got in like 1 bullet with this, too. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out here. Triflex is trying to look over his teammate. He gets a free kill on the KG. This is going to be intense. Oh, my God. He just turned on him, Pat. He just got turned on. That kid that was down low just got turned on.
The AK is so nasty up close. Like, it feels like it insta kills, right? But those long range fights, you don't even want to take them. The recoil is insane. But
I think what happened to Slay there, Pat, I think his recoil kicked up, because this happens to me a lot with the AK too. It looks like he had a free kill and his aim just kicked up, and it just gave just enough time for the player on the Minnesota Rocker to turn around and get the kill.
To me, so far, it really seems like Dallas is playing super aggressive for that first blood, and I think pretty much every round they won, it was an insta first blood, and then they're just gonna 2v1 and pull each other's crossfire. So, I mean, it's a really good strat. It's working for them right now. And Minnesota, I think, is just peaking a little too much, right? I think that Triflex guy has went up top almost every round and got blooded. So, you know, you kind of got to react, right? I mean, you only get, it's 1st to 6 in gunfights, so you don't really have much time to change your game plan on the fly. You kind of just got to react to what the other team's doing right away.
Yeah, like, I don't understand how Triflex just jumped down right there when Slay had the information on him. I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Slay here. I feel like he's working the map really well. He's playing his information really well. He's peeking very well. And I think that's really what this all comes down to, Pat, is getting the information, playing off of it, and then using your tacticals to close out these rounds.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a round now with shotguns. So the fact that Triflex went super aggro right there for that kill and it didn't work out, this is pretty much an insta-round loss for his teammate. I don't know how you could clutch this.
Well, looks like he just got a free kill right there. Oh my God, Pat!
Okay.
What?
I mean, I guess that's how you clutch it.
What?
I'm not really sure who that was. Was it KG, I believe, on Dallas, who just sprinted all the way across, didn't even check anything? I mean, like, he's giving the emo. He's saying, like, yeah, I don't know how I clutched that either. They gave that to me. So I think Dallas is going to wish they could get that one back.
I thought he had no chance of winning that round, and there he was able to pull out a miracle. It doesn't seem like he's going to be able to pull out a second one, though. He's going to have to go big for the squad, and he's not going to be able to do it. Dallas Empire win the first map, Pat.
Yeah, Slay was just so aggressive early on in almost every round. I don't know his first blood tally, but it had to be at least 4 or 5. It was looking at the scoreboard. They both in double positive, so, you know, an equal effort throughout. But Slay was super aggressive on getting those first bloods, and I think that was the game changing for that round.
Yeah, and if you're Minnesota, I just don't understand, Pat. If it's a 2 versus 2 mode, you have to play together as a team. It seemed like there was so many times one of the players was just getting singled out, or both players were rushing to the same spot on the map and then just getting funneled into one little corner, and then the other player would get a kill and then just pinch the last one. So I think these guys are going to have to regroup. Obviously, there's a bunch of maps in Gunfight. Maybe this is one of their weaker maps. I'm not too sure, Pat, but nonetheless, whoever wins this next map, either it's going to go on to a Game 3 or Dallas Empire is just going to move on to the finals.
I did say Dallas Empire 2-0. That was my call. But, hey, I mean, they just played super aggressive early on. I think the Rocker was playing, like you said, not together. They're very individual, getting blooded without a trade. You know, that's never going to be a good thing if you want to win. If you're getting first blooded and your teammate's not trading it, you're constantly man down. So Dallas Empire is going to take an early 1-0 lead. I think we have Speedball coming up next. I think that's the general, like, you know, best 2v2 gunfight map. That's my opinion, but I think a lot of people like that map. A lot of pro players play free-for-alls to warm up on Speedball. So I'm excited for that. But again, I think, you know, if Minnesota Rocker want to push this to a game 3, they really just got to play together. You know, eliminate getting first blooded without a trade, which happened pretty much every round in that last map. So we'll see if they turn it around.
Well, I think Speedball is one of those maps, like you just said, Pat, where everybody knows it. It's such a simple map. It's such a fun map. One of the greatest things about Modern Warfare is Gunfight and the maps in Gunfight. And to me personally, I love Speedball. I feel like it's one of those easy maps to play. I think Bazaar was one of the newer maps that just got added. So maybe I'm just playing devil's advocate, Pat, but maybe Minnesota Rocker just didn't know the map too well, because it did seem like there was a couple of times they were getting caught off guard, whereas the Dallas Empire seemed like they knew everything that they wanted to do on that map. So moving into this next map, Pat, I think it's going to be a little bit more fair, a little bit more equal, and I think that every player knows how to play this map. So I think Minnesota Rocker actually have a chance to force a game 3.
I don't know, Doug. I mean, you can say that, and they're probably telling themselves that, but hey, this is a match to double the amount of money you're going to make today, right? Like, you can't throw away maps in the best of 3. It's just, you can't do it, right? You prepared for this, so they need to be aware of these maps. But going into Speedball, they're gonna have to throw that one behind them, focus on the next one. But yeah, they just got to play together. Hopefully this map suits them better. We can get get to the third map. I think it's Rust, so that'll be interesting. But again, it's just in 2v2 gunfight especially. I mean, and this is just like SND and 2v2s, right? Like, you can't split up without a game plan, because you're just going to leave your teammate kind of high and dry if you die and he's nowhere in the picture to trade. So maybe they make those adjustments, and like you said, hopefully Speedball is a better map for them.
They have to play in angles where if they're going to split up, and obviously in Speedball it's a much smaller map, but if you're going to split up, you have to play angles that even if you're going to get double teamed by a team, you could back down and get some cover so that your teammate can come and help you. And I think that's one of the things the Rocker players weren't doing too well in that last map, but they are playing extremely aggressive, and I think Speedball suits aggressive players. So Pat, honestly, I'm taking the Rocker to win the Speedball, despite the fact that Dallas looked really good, Slay looked really good. I saw a couple of great things I loved out of the Rocker. He clutched that 1v2 with the shotgun. So I don't know, Pat, I just think this is going to for game 3. There's just too much at stake, and they're not going to go out with 2-0.
Another variable you can look at, Doug, is maybe the loadouts didn't suit them, right? I mean, they played 9 rounds, so that's 4 or 5 different loadouts, and we only saw 1 assault rifle. So hopefully they get some better loadouts for them going into this Speedball.
That is true, Pat. And let's see. Dayon Zuri is getting stunned off rip. I like the tactical use out of the Dallas Empire. It looks like they're playing extremely passive in the back of their spawn here.
Yeah, and it's so important to get early information with those tacticals to kind of dictate how you're going to play the round out, especially if you have a guy pinned by a stun. Again, Dallas Empire Slay open it up with a first blood. I think that's been the story so far. Again, another shotgun pistol round. So maybe Zuri can do what his teammate did last one and get a 1v2 clutch.
Pat, he's trying so hard to stay alive. Oh my God, he made that so close at the end. This is what I'm talking about, though, Pat. It looks like they seem a lot more comfortable on this map, because it seemed like Zuri didn't have much of a chance of winning that. He was weak, he was pinned, he was getting pinched, and he almost made it possible. He was almost to get that last kill with the shotgun right there. If he hit the shot, it would have went the other way. So, like I said, this is just one of those maps where I feel like anyone could take it.
Not to mention, his movement looks super clean. And he was kind of fading back and forth with those slides. An early trade, though, we got a 1v1, and a Molotov is going to seal the deal. So 2-0 for the Empire. Wait.
Did that just hit the wall?
Yeah, he killed himself. He was weak, so it counted for a kill for KG. But yeah, that was a suicide. There's no getting around that. That doesn't look good.
I like what I'm seeing out of KG here. He just got caught on the mount. Gets grenaded. So Minnesota Rockers able to win this round and make it 2-1. That's one of the worst things when you have a mount play, Pat, and you can't see a certain angle because the mount doesn't allow you to, but then the other player's able to see you and they can pick you off. As a player, that's one of the most frustrating things, I'm sure.
Yeah, and again, it ends with utility. And, Speedball, in its name, is going to be one of the faster maps we're going to see today. It's going to be constant action. Both these teams are playing really aggressive, so I do like that. But again, Dallas Empire, keeping with the story of this series, they're just getting the first bloods almost instantly, putting the Rocker players in a 1v2. So,
I love the way they're playing this, Pat. KG's just laying down, waiting for information from Slay. Slay just called him out to him.
This is similar to how they played that last 2v1, where they just kind of hold each other's crossfire. Now they're getting a little too aggressive. I don't like that. Their setup was good.
Oh my God!
Again, it ends in a 1v2.
Oh my goodness,
man.
Pat!
They just get too antsy, man. They had it. It was a 2v1. They had each other's crossed, and yeah, Zuri just absolutely obliterates both of them. So
I don't know why that player went mid, Pat. He should have just hugged the wall and just came right up on the side.
It was the same story in that 2v1 on the last map. He just got super aggressive for no reason, and cost them a round. So maybe they're just really, really confident, and they know they're getting these first bloods that they just want to keep going at them. So,
well, I think a lot of it has to do with the gun pad. I think the Ram 7 is one of those guns where you can just shred somebody off the wall easily, you know? So if they had a pistol, if they had something else, maybe a sniper, it could have worked. But I think with the Ram 7, head glitches aren't as powerful because of how powerful that gun is. As we can see, Triflex picking up the nice trade here too as well to make it 3-2.
And we got back-to-back assault rifle rounds, so maybe this is shooting the rocker, like you had mentioned. I mean, I think we, you know, early on in the last 2 maps has been shotgun and pistols, and we finally got some assault rifles. And as I say that, Dallas Empire gets an insta 2-piece and ends the round.
This seems a lot more competitive, a lot closer, though. I think all the players left in this tournament, Pat, have played thousands and thousands of speedballs throughout the year.
This just kind of got me wanting to get on and play some speedball. This map is so entertaining. We got dual pistols here, so stuns and Molotovs at the use. But again, that early information, stunning people and kind of trapping them on that side of the map and using that to your advantage, I think that's going to dictate how they play.
Yeah, I love the way Slay's playing this right now. He's playing his angles extremely well. Let's see if they could close this one out.
If you watch the minimap, the Dallas Empire players hardly split up, and I think you know aside from when they're in those 2v1 situations where they messed up the last 2 rounds, when it's 2v2, they're pretty much always together. And I think that's what's leading to them getting all those first bloods, is because they just have man advantage, right? They're just finding one guy and 2v1ing him instantly. So I think that's the adjustment that the rocker needs to make. I mean, hey, 2 more rounds to go, so hopefully they do.
The tournament's on the line right here, Pat. This is a huge one-on-one for Zuri. The Molotov's gonna mess him up.
We can't see his health, but we know it's low.
That was huge. They needed that round right there, Pat.
But again, the rocker player, I feel like he had him weaker. He had positioning. He just had to play it way more patient. They're getting really antsy in these 1v1s. I'm not sure what gun this is. This is a submachine gun, I believe. This is the first SMG round that we've had.
Pat, is this the new LMG, the Finn?
No, this is a sub. It's gotta be a sub.
I mean, look at the barrel on it, though. What is that? Like, is that an MP7 with like a drum mag?
Yeah, it's definitely a sub, but yeah.
It looks like the drum mag on the PPSH back in World at War. You remember that?
50 bullets in a 2v2, I would say, is more than enough. Oh, and they also have stim. Yeah. So get a little throwback to Black Ops 4. This thing sounds like a little pellet shooter. But
I don't think KG has much of a chance in this situation, Pat.
Yeah, Minnesota Rockers playing this patient. I think they're going to force him to make a play on the flag. Gets him really weak. Looking for the second. I don't think he's going to get it.
They did a great job of just baiting him out there and just forcing him out to the middle of the map. And that's the most important thing about gunfight, is knowing your timings and knowing when you can push, knowing when you can hold too.
Yeah, and again, Rocker played that 2v1 perfect. I think Dallas has not played their 2v1s well. They basically just said, hey, we have the man advantage. You have to go for the flag. We can just sit here and do nothing. And they took advantage of that.
Are they going to force the game 3 right here, Pat? I think they will.
Nah, I think we're going to see a round 11.
I don't think we're seeing a round 11. I think they're going to win it right here. I like the Semtex usage out of Zuri. Perfect. They do have stim.
Both. That's true. They do get their health back here. Yep.
Dude, they stimmed her up right away, dude. Little panic.
They're both out now. They should be. Both teams should be out of stim. So it's coming down to all the health left. 6 more seconds to the flag pop for overtime. Quick blood for Zuri. I think this is it. You were right.
No chance he can come back out of that. Minnesota Rocker takes game 2. We're going to a game 3, Pat, just like I predicted. I always knew it, man. I mean, Speedball, this map plays a lot different from the first map that we just saw. I think a lot of this has to do with the the maps and the matchups in these maps as well. So I want to know, Pat, what's game 3? What do we have coming up next?
We're going into Rust. And, you know, I think what we just learned on that Speedball was these Rocker players are really good with subs. You kind of saw their kind of finessey, fast-paced style, you know, sliding around, being super evasive, which is really important in a gunfight. You got 1 life with 100 health. And without stim, you don't get that health back. So if they can get some more SMG loadouts, especially with a 50-round drum mag, we might have a series on our hands.
Rust is a really big map, though. I think Dallas Empire is going to take it on Rust, just because it seems like you said, the Rocker players are a lot more aggressive. The Dallas players like to play a little bit slower, a little bit more methodical. They like to play their lives. I think Rust fits them a lot better than Speedball. So I think that Dallas is going to move on to this grand final.
I don't know, Doug. You say that, but I think it's going to come down to the loadouts, right? I mean, so far the Empire have been, in my opinion, the best assault rifle. You know, when they get the M14s or the automatic ARs, but those SMGs, if they get more of those, I don't know. We could see the distance. Yeah, I know you said Rust is a big map, but I think it really comes down to the loadouts.
I also think that Dallas seems to play their 2v1 slightly better as well, because we saw the Minnesota Rocker players in the first map, even in the second map, clutch some of the most insane 1v2s. I mean, that one round in Speedball is a game-changing momentum round where he clutched that 1v2 when the player went onto the mid wall and tried to shoot him into the side, and he had the Ram 7. I just think if he stayed down on that wall and just waited for his teammate and baited a little bit, maybe waited for the other player on Dallas to run out of bullets and then go to rush him, I think it would have worked out a lot better. And like you said, Pat, all of these rounds are really, really important. I mean, you have to win 6. It's 2v2. They play really fast. The guns change really fast. The rounds last like 30 seconds. So your margin for error is very small.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, we've seen 2 1v2s blown by the Empire, and I'm sure they wish they could get those rounds back. But I mean, like we said, if you're in a 2v1, right, and you know overtime is coming up, they have to make the play. You don't have to do anything. The other team has to go for the objective, or they just instantly lose. So, you know, maybe they make some adjustments in this game 3. I'm sure they wish they could say, hey, we didn't do it, but we can go back and do it now. But that's not the case. We're going into Rust, and, you know, hopefully they make these adjustments. This is a $5,000 each match.
I wonder how much Rust these guys have played, because hopefully they practice it enough, because whoever's going to win this is going to move on to the grand finals and have a chance of making $20,000. Pat, are you ready for this game 3?
I'm ready. I want to see a Rocker upset, but I'm still going strong with Dallas.
I think Dallas is going to get it too, just because this map plays extremely, extremely big, specifically for 2v2s. And what I want to see too is more tactical usage in a smarter way. Like, I feel like on that Speedball, they were kind of just throwing their stuns just to get information. And I feel like on a map like Speedball, you already have the information just by looking out down the lane. So I think on a map like Rust, if you could use a stun and like shoot somebody in the side, it would be really beneficial.
Yeah, I think Rust is, you know, one of the only gunfight maps that has so much elevation, right? Like, there's so many different ways you can get high ground. So I think this one's going to play a lot slower than the other 2.
KG gets the pick. Zuri makes it a 1 versus 1.
I do not like that challenge at all.
He just got timing.
Clutched it up. But hey, again, man, he gets a 1v1 and then just takes a chow. Like, you have the 2v1. Just take your time, slow it down, regroup with your teammate. Luckily, his teammate bailed him out there with that trade, but...
And what I'd like to see out of Zuri there, too, I don't know why he's running up that pipe in a 1 versus 1. He's just exposing himself to get shot from so many different angles.
Yeah, he had time on the clock as well. I do like this loadout, though. The AUG with the red dot, revolver for backup, and only 1 Molotov.
I like this positioning out of KG. If I'm him, I'm just sitting here the whole round and getting information.
Yeah, but Triflex went up top early, got a quick first blood. I like this setup. They kind of have everything pinned. Ooh, that was a quick kill. 1v1 though, KG and Triflex.
This is a tough situation for KG.
Yeah, I wonder what the health bars are at and who's got the advantage here. I would assume it's Triflex, so he's probably going to play this OT out, force KG to make a play.
It looks like Triflex has 80% health and KG has around like 20, if I had to just guess.
And yeah, plays it smart, has the high ground. It's an easy round win. Yeah,
and like you said, though, the health bar, too. I mean, whoever has more health is going to win the round, right? It wouldn't go to a draw if they had the same amount of health.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah, so he was kind of in a bad situation. He didn't really have too much of a play there. It's a good bounce back round regardless.
Yeah, especially the low ground there. There's not much he could do. Got an early frag out, didn't connect. Pistol rounds, I think that's also another shotgun in the back pocket.
Wow. Triflex just melted Slay across the map with that pistol.
2-bullet headshot and his teammate cleans up the other one. That was a good shot. Those pistols are deadly when they're headshots, man. There's really not much you can do. You can't even react.
As a player in this situation, Pat, you gotta be stressing, hoping that you get some good guns, right? Like, this is just random at this point. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you're praying for your best loadout. I mean, Rocker's going to take an early 2-1 advantage. And like we said, these last 2 rounds have been pistols and, you know, submachine guns. That benefits the Rocker, in my opinion. Dallas, you know, wants those assault rifles, maybe even snipers that we haven't seen yet.
Triflex is getting the high ground. I like this play.
Again, they did this the round before. I think they've practiced this map the most because they've went for high ground almost every round. I think it's the most important thing on this map, too, because is he going to get an early pick? No, he gets spotted.
Oh my god, he almost got the pick on Zuri. Wow.
Insta shot.
KG is making the plays to keep his team in this tournament.
And again, a 2v1, so Zuri's got to make a play for the flag.
Yeah, he has no chance. I mean, with the way this map is set up, Pat, after that frag grenade just went off, he has no chance of winning this. No, absolutely no chance. Dallas Empire wins 2-2.
Hey, they finally clutched a 2v1 correctly. So, you know, good on the Empire for making an adjustment there. 2-2.
I'm calling it now. This is going to go round 11.
I don't know. We got FAMAS's. We did say the Empire's better off with the assault rifle. This could be a quick 2 rounds.
Nice shot by Slay. Zuri got a little bit aggressive there. I'd like to see them just play on the perimeter and get some information, especially if you're using an assault rifle, you know?
Yeah, and get that high ground again. I feel like he got a little aggressive, saw some information, tried to over peek for it. Ended up another Dallas Empire 2v1. Hopefully they don't throw this one away.
And if you're Triflex, you have to get kills here. I don't know why Slay is pushing that so aggressively, Pat.
Another Chow. Just taking those 1v1s when he just doesn't need to.
And if I'm Triflex, I'm just getting on the flag here. I'm just hopping on and I'm going to win the map. There we go.
He's got the advantage. His teammate was so far away. Again, I think it was Slay again. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, fault him too much, but his teammate.
Pat, in a game 3, 2-2, first to 6, you have a 2v1 easy round win, and you throw that away. That's a dagger round, Pat. You can't make those mistakes in the grand final, in a championship match, in the semifinals, anything when it comes to a high pressure elimination game. You have to be on point, or else the other team's going to take advantage, and that's exactly what Minnesota Rocker was able to do there.
Yeah, but he hasn't stopped, right? Like, it's just been his play style through the beginning since the first map. He just takes those early chows even in 2v1s. I don't know, like I said, confidence thing, maybe getting a little cocky, wanting to take some fights that he has no business taking. But it's not looking good. Down 3-2, another assault rifle round that hopefully they can bounce back.
I'm loving the way Zuri is playing this too, by the way, Pat. He's getting information, he's playing his cameras, he's playing his angles. He had a really nice camera shot onto KG for the 2 versus 1. Let's see if they can close out this round this time.
I don't think so. They got high ground, they got the locked down. Slay's got to make a play for the flag. He is starting to cap it, but yeah, there's really not much he can do after that.
Great plays by Minnesota Rocker there, Pat.
Yeah, the first blood from Zuri is going to steal that round. I mean, hey, it's 2v1 gunfight, right? If you get an early first blood and kind of get away with your life and a lot of your health, you're setting your team up for a round win. You got to be super cautious of how you play in these early 10 seconds and how much information you give away. And getting first blood, it cannot happen.
Just to remind you guys back at home, whoever wins this map is going to be walking home with $10,000 each. Home with $5,000 each, which isn't too bad, but I mean, hey, 10,000 is better than 5,000.
Hey, yeah, you always want to double up when you can. I think this is a I would say that's a bounce back round. Let's watch this in the final kill cam. That shot was nasty. Was it a headshot too? It had to have been. Yeah, headshot. That was sick.
We saw Slay making plays on map 1. Now we're seeing KG making plays on map 3. I hope this goes round 11, Pat. We're getting closer. We need it to go round 11, man. I want to see a round 11 1 versus 1.
It's looking like it. Dallas is getting aggressive bottom mid here. I don't think Rocker spotted him. But again, this is, hey, 2-shot body shot. So another shotgun in the back pocket. Dallas has the early high ground here. Minnesota's got to figure something out.
Slay's going to get a spot and angle on Triflex. I don't think he hit him, Pat. That was really close. It looks like Slay's going to get flanked here. He
heard him.
He takes out the shotgun. Modern Warfare slide cancel move. Amazing play out of Slay.
Those shot kills. Again, just going to play smart here.
Yeah, no, just touch
the adjustment. Yeah, finally making the adjustment, playing super passive in the advantage. Gets picked. Teammates making a play on the flag.
Wait a second. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Not another one.
That just happened? That's a dagger, Pat.
Yeah, I think that's the dagger round right there.
All they had to do was make him run to the flag.
Yeah. I guess they assumed that he wasn't going to play for it. But, hey, he had nothing to lose. It was either lose the round or try to do something. And he did something. So that's another 1v2.
Minnesota Rocker has.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a big momentum swing for them. They've almost clutched every 1v2 we've seen.
Pat, that might have been a $5,000 mistake unless the Dallas can come back and win this. 2 versus 1.
Gets first blood again on Slay.
This could be it.
KG saved their tournament hopes. Rocker's playing this really well, staying together, not spreading out. I think they know they got this in the bag. They're gonna play around the objective to make sure KG can't do anything about it. He's gonna have to go absolutely insane. They're already on the flag. I think they're just gonna hop it. They know he can't get there.
That's it. The Minnesota.
That was just ones.
Oh man. And I don't even want to fault Slay because Pat, Slay went 2-7 on that. Like he was able to adjust, you know, like he got picked a couple of times. Once they got that blood and they made it a 2 versus 1. The dagger round to me was when it went up 5-3. When Slay got that blood, or it was the 2 versus 1, I'm not sure exactly who got the blood, but Slay stayed down near the flag, shotgun out, ready to go, and his teammate got picked, and then it put Slay in such a bad spot because it was an easy read. So man, I feel like that was just a dagger round right there, Pat. After that, I just think that Minnesota Rocker had all the momentum, and I kind of feel bad for those Dallas boys because they looked so strong early on in this matchup.
Yeah, again, I just feel like they anticipated the guy on Rocker giving up, right? And that's just not going to happen. You're in a 1v2. You got to make a play. You can't just give up. So I think they kind of dropped the ball there. But hey, Rocker clutched up. That was a pretty insane series. I did not expect that. Too many 2v1s for my liking. But hey, they made it to a grand final.
And hey, I think the swing rounds too. I mean, Pat, we think that a round's going to be over 100%. And then we'll see, like, we're going to watch replay right here. These swing rounds are crazy. I mean, Triflex, there's 6 seconds left. The flag's up, right? He's in a 1 versus 2. He has no information. He's just running around trying to make a play. I'd love to see this from his point of view too. It looks like Slay actually got picked. Yeah, and then he got the information on KG. So that was just unfortunate. Honestly, I thought Slay was doing a good job.
I mean, he finessed here really well, but if you saw in the Empire setup, they really didn't. They kind of just held crosses, but kind of ignored the fact that he's going to have to make a play on the flag, right? It's going to come down to time limit. He has to go for the objective, and I don't know why Slay was laying out. He could have been more concealed, maybe in that little, you know, cover area right beside the flag. But
he's
hey,
going to look. Pat, he's going to look back at that.
Mistake.
He's going to look back at that, and he's just going to think about this all day long, all week long. Like, why did I just lay down right there? And as competitors, we've been through this before, man. Like, this isn't the first time. We made these mistakes millions of times over, and that's how we're able to perfect our class. So I'm sure Slay's going to look back at that, and he's going to say, why did I do that, man? Next time when I play, I got to just play it a little bit differently. And that's what I love about these tournaments in this. Margin for error is so small. Like we saw, Dallas just kind of steamrolled that first map, Pat, and then Minnesota just came back and won the next 2 just like that in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, like you said, they got off to a hot start on that first map, but I think the story of that was just the 1v2s. There was too many clutches. Rocker just clutched up, right? They clutched up for $5,000. Going to solidify them taking home at least 20 now that they're in the grand final. So we'll see who they face off, but I'm sure they're feeling good. They're in a great spot.
It's not a bad Saturday afternoon to come home with $10,000 minimum, maybe able to double it, but they're going to have to play either Optic Gaming Los Royalty and Diamond Con. Like you said, they just won the Challengers Cup. Royalty's actually one of my great friends. We've teamed together in the past. We've had a lot of fun. We just teamed a few months ago. He's definitely one of my good friends. I am pulling for him to win this, but I don't know. Minnesota Rocker was resilient. They made a lot of great plays. Triflex in that 1v2 was the play of the game for me. So you just said that you think Royalty's going to win this next matchup, but I don't know what to expect, man. Royalty told me himself earlier today, these gunfights are a lot harder than they look. So I just think it's anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, it is gunfight. You have new loadouts every other round. There's, you know, I mean, they probably come in, they have the skill advantage and maybe the, you know, experience advantage. But if they get pistols and shotguns and snipers, there's really no telling what could happen. So you think they have the advantage going into it because they are veterans, right? These guys have been playing a while. They just won a major Challengers event. I don't know. Maybe we'll see an upset from the Optic Gaming LA, but who knows, man? That last series was crazy.
Pat, the way I look at this, I think that Royalty and Diamond Con put so much time into Challengers and so much time into competitive Call of Duty. I don't know anything about the Optic Gaming Los Angeles players. For all I know, they didn't even play Challengers. Maybe they just only grinded gunfight. And if they spent all of those hours just playing gunfight, while Royalty and Diamond Con played substantially less amount of gunfight from these players in Optic Gaming LA, I can see Optic Gaming LA winning this. I don't even think it comes down to a skill thing. I think, Pat, that these maps are so small and so easy to just learn that if you get able to get more reps on them, like Optic Gaming LA might be able to, then they can win this. Because I don't think Royalty and Diamond have played as much gunfight as the other two guys in Optic Gaming.
That's a good point. They definitely haven't. They qualified for Toronto qualifier for the city circuit, which was just recently, I believe, in July. You know, Optic Gaming LA qualified for the LA Cold Series. They qualified on land. They're the only team remaining that actually qualified on land. So, you know, that was 6-7 months ago. They got a big advantage going into this.
I would also assume that these guys have been playing gunfight this whole time too, Pat. I mean, like you said, Mark, you got the LA homestand. How was your homestand?
Yeah, it was the split.
I was there too. That was the last time before the pandemic. So these guys have been playing gunfight since then, and they're able to get that experience and be in a high intensity, high pressure situation. They probably play other rages. They probably play other challenges. I would not count these guys out. They also are the only team that haven't dropped a map left in their this is really going to benefit Royalty and Diamond Con, in my opinion, because I feel like this is one of those maps where you don't really need too much practice because these guys have been playing this map just as much as anybody else has too.
We got an interesting opening round. We got pistols and grenades. Good first blow with the grenade. The utility is going to be so important on this. Kind of just trapping your opponent, you know, in those crates, in those areas where they can't cross back, and using grenades to do all the damage.
And this is where you're going to see the experience too. You can see Royalty and Diamond kind of just sitting back, playing their lives extremely passively, and then pinching just at the right time. All of that, like you said, was open up from the first frag grenade by Royalty.
Yeah, I think that's the big difference you're going to see between Toronto Ultra and the other teams is, you know, they're not going to blow those 2v1s. They're not going to throw away their lives when they don't need to. They're going to play it patient, and they're going to secure those round wins. They know how important. This goes to 6. These rounds are, you know, go very fast. There's no guarantee with some of these loadouts, so I think you're going to see the experience show.
They're saving their frag grenade. They're trying to get information about the flash. I'm curious to see if that one like he wasn't able to get that final pistol shot to go in. Optic Gaming tied this up 1-1. Great play out of Lacura to pick up that kill.
Yeah, he actually made a really good play around that crate. Kind of baited Diamond Con out while Royalty was kind of calling him out what he was doing, but got a quick pick on Diamond Con, and then, you know, hitting that 1v1 while Royalty was trying to cap. But going back to this marksman rifle, one shot to the head.
Ooh. You're going to see a lot of this out of the Ultra players, Pat. Once they get that first blood, I'm sure that they're just going to back up and regroup with each other and play with their live advantage.
Yeah, I think Dallas is probably watching the series wishing they did that in the last. But yeah, they get these early advantages, and they're just going to, you know, force the opponent to have to make a play. And that's really hard, right? If you're on the opposing side of that, and your teammate's dead, you're in a 1v2, and you know the other team is not moving, they're making you go to them, it's not hard. You know, it's not an easy way to win.
At the same time, a lot of these situations, like Diamond Con on that kill on Lacura, like Lacura easily could have won that 1v1. Sometimes they just don't go your way. So I think it's a high percent chance to get more gunfights, and just trying to stay alive at the same time. It's not always going to go your way. Right there, he was just a half centimeter off from the left to get the kill in and make it a 2v1 in favor of Optic.
Yeah, it looked like Diamond Con just got a little bit better reaction time. Got that trigger pull off a little split second before opening up the first blood. But hey, they spread out 1v1 now. Easy shotgun kill for.
Oh wow!
Oh,
so all right, right there.
They both missed that first shot. Both of them missed.
They both missed. They both whipped the shotgun. But Georgie just made the play. I wish I would have seen Royalty either run backwards towards Diamond Con there or kind of run forward towards him, because it looked like Royalty was just a sitting duck laying down in the middle of those barrels.
If you notice, a lot of these 1v2s came from players who were just laying down holding a cross, and with a shotgun, that's probably not the best play to make because he got surprised by Georgie and just insta-killed. But going to the AK, our least favorite weapons in gunfight.
Oh man, they're throwing out the decoy grenades too. Locura's holding the cross. If Matt peeks this, he's going to be toast. He almost got the camera on him. It looked like he was actually going to win the gunfight. He put a little bit more damage into Locura. I like the positioning out of DiamondCon too, just slowly playing this angle up top.
They're both really weak though. Georgie gets the first blood on Royalty. I mean,
kind of clutch the 1v2. Nice camera.
That heady's hard to beat. He came around that corner fast.
If you slide cancel that, Pat, there's not much you can really do, even if you're hitting the pre-aim just like Georgie is right there.
Yeah, and I think he was trying to sound, hear him come around that corner, but it was just a little too late.
All right, 3-2 up Toronto. DiamondCon turning the corner, gets the kill on the Lacora, makes it a 2 versus 1. This is gonna be tough. He's gonna get camera to make it. Wow, Pat. You see how this goes, man? You see how fast this could change? You could get the first blood, and then if you just get cameraed around this corner, you really just don't have a chance against that.
I don't think Georgie was happy about that last round. He came out super aggressive, ran right into the middle of the craze, and just hunted down for blood. That was pretty sick. And that was a weird AK class too, bipod and a big drum mag. So that was a big win.
And I think that's what you're gonna have to do in some of these shipment rounds. I think you're gonna have to switch it up and be a little bit aggressive sometimes, be a little bit passive sometimes. So I like the change of pace out of Optic LA. They're able to get that first blood, 1 versus 1, Royalty versus the Coro.
And again, not the scope I would want to have on the AUG in that situation. He knew where Royalty was coming from, but he really couldn't get aimed in and get reacted to where he was. And again, Royalty just playing super aggressive, great movement, insta-killed him.
Well, it's kind of like the round earlier when Georgie just clutched the 1v2. Matt just knew the information and he was confident and he challenged the gunfight.
Yeah, I mean, and there's really not much he can do when he knows where he is and he's coming at him really fast paced because he's just going to catch him off guard, especially with this big scope on the AUG. I mean, it takes a second to zoom in. So first one that usually will get in some ADS will win that gunfight. But Royalty, I don't think he knows he's here.
He doesn't.
It's a big blast for Georgie.
That's some bad timing.
I want to see the Optic Gaming players play slow, don't get picked. They make DiamondCon weak. Play their life here. That nade might connect. It does. A 1v1 now. Georgie's got to go big.
DiamondCon has like barely any health. Georgie has barely any health too. Whoever hits this first bullet is going to win this round, Pat. This is a big swing round right here.
Yeah, and we don't know, but I'm sure the players do the exact health. Georgie's making a play. I would assume that DiamondCon had less health than him in that situation. I know it was close and we couldn't see the exact numbers, but the way that DiamondCon played that, he kind of seemed like he had to make a play for the flag, and Georgie was kind of waiting him out.
I think DiamondCon was around like 20%, and Georgie was like at like 30-35%. So it was really close, but yeah, Georgie had the advantage.
Back to some shotguns. C4s as well. Another 1v1, a quick trade out.
It looks like DiamondCon has the advantage this time. He's able to close it out 5-4 Toronto Ultra.
Yeah, he got that clip on him as he turned the corner, got him weak, and then just kind of repositioned and waited for him to come to him. It's a big round. Match point.
This all happened so fast. Do you think it's going to go to a round 11?
I don't know. I think we're back on shotguns. Yeah, I don't know. I think if Georgie doesn't open here with the first blood, I'm going to assume a Toronto win. I like this setup though. Royalty's playing aggressive. Diamond looking over, gonna give him early information. Yeah, and insta first blood.
I like Royalty with the shotgun. I was about to say it before he even got those 2 kills right there, but they played that beautifully. I love the way that he finessed up to that barrel and just waited around a second and just popped up just at the right time. And then he had that little dumpster to go back and forth with and play with his bait. So Royalty with a great round right there. 7-6, 9-5 from DiamondCon. Georgie 7-7 Lacora. Couple of gunfights that could have went his way that just didn't. Overall, Pat, I thought that was a really close game 1. I think Shipment is going to benefit Toronto Ultra though. Like I said a little bit earlier, these players have known Shipment for a decade, right? So I'm really curious, Pat. Do you know what map 2 is going to be?
I can check for you, Doug.
I really want to know.
I believe we are going to stack.
Okay, I don't know how much Royalty and DiamondCon have played that map because they played a lot of Shipment, but I'm sure Optic Gaming LA have a lot more experience on this map than Toronto Ultra does.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell, I mean, even in that last round, they knew that setup, right? Like, DiamondCon went to his barrel, had the cross on middle crate and the right side. Royalty played super aggressive, got pushed up, and DiamondCon was there to give him all the information. There really wasn't much they could do there. You know, they're kind of pinned, and they couldn't, once you get in that situation where you can't really make any moves in advance on the map to get information, and as soon as DiamondCon calls them out, Royalty just pounces and gets that easy 2-piece.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I wanted to say it before the round even started. Royalty, whenever it comes to... When I was teaming with him, just a side note, he was using... Remember the Vector? Or what was it called? Was it the Vector in competitive? What was the gun? The Fennec?
In this game?
Yes, the Fennec, right?
The new one that came out?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's kind of like a mini Vector, and it's like a Scorpion. It has like a really crazy fire rate. I remember I was warming up with Royalty before we had scrims, and he was like, Doug, hey, I'm using the Fennec. This thing is nasty. You got to try it. I'm like, oh, what's the class? He like gave it to me and had a red dot on it. I'm running around in a free-for-all. My aim's just going all over the place, and I'm like, dude, this thing's not good. He's like, no, it's really good in close-range gunfights. Trust me. And I've known Matt for a while. He loves those close-range, tight engagements.
That's his play style.
Yeah, and for him to set up on shipment with the shotgun laying down behind a barrel to win a game, I'm going to take him 10 times out of 10 in that situation. And he played it perfectly. You couldn't have played it any better to close that out.
Especially with the information he had. I mean, he knew exactly when that guy crossed to the barrel, and he instantly stood up for that kill. But they're going to take an early 1-0 lead in this series. We're heading to stack next, but I don't know. We'll see if Optic Gaming can bounce back, or we're going to see an Ultra Rocker finals.
Patty P, I'm going to say it now. This is also going to go to a game 3. There's too much on the line. These are our final 4 teams in this tournament. The $100,000 are on the line here, guys. Minnesota Rockers already guaranteed themselves $10,000 each per player. I don't know, Pat. I think this is going to go to a game 3. I think Optic Gaming LA has more experience on stack. Oh, man. The pressure is high. It's intense. And honestly, dude, I just don't think that DiamondCon and Royalty have as much practice as Optic Gaming LA on stack. And I think it's going to show on this map.
I don't know. We do have a map 3 speedball, so you'd think that would favor Toronto if we get there. So, you know, I'm still going Toronto favorites here because these map sets just really benefit them. Even if you're right? Like maybe Optic is better at stack and they have more experience. It's going to be tough to beat Royalty and DiamondCon on.
I have to agree with you on that, but again, we saw that speedball kind of going down to that wire in the last series too, and we thought that Slay and the Empire were playing it really well, and they gave away a lot of 1v2, so I don't know what to expect. I think that these teams are all amazing. I think that any of these teams could win it. I have to agree with you, Pat. I do think Toronto Ultra will win on a speedball if it does go to a game 3. So I just don't know.
They're not going to give away those easy rounds, right? Like in that Empire Rocker series, there was so many rounds that they just had to close out to, you know, those guarantee wins. But I don't see Ultra throwing those away, right? And you know, they might be down on this map in terms of experience, but I see them winning the rounds that are must wins.
All right, we're gonna hop into game 2 here, Georgie. Wow.
that guy was far around that wall.
I don't know if that's a spectator glitch or what, but that looked like he just got shredded on the wall. Yeah, DiamondCon with the great positioning right now. That was an awesome play to get that kill.
Yeah, I'm sure Royalty is like thinking what happened right there, because I felt like he was far around that wall, but yeah, these guys are playing online. There are some ping differences. So, you know, good blood out of Georgie, but DiamondCon clutched up.
The centering from Connor was really strong right there. Oh. This is kind of what we were alluding to earlier, though. Just kind of just running out at a player, even though they're weak. I mean, it's obvious that Lokura is going to go up on the steps and look for his read at Matt. Be the first read over Connor. He's not just going to re-peak DiamondCon
that was a pure confidence challenge. I mean, he probably just thought he could world star him, and it just didn't work out. But hey, this is the gun you were talking about, Royalty's favorite.
Yeah, it looks like Connor's going to get picked right off the rip. If you guys don't know, Connor is DiamondCon, and Royalty's also going to... What was that, a C4? Did he just get a C4 blown up on him?
Long-range C4.
Ouch! It almost direct impacted him there.
Looking like he's in Warzone.
Wow, man. And if I'm a player on either of these teams, if I go to these bottom right or bottom left sandbags and I have a guy who has an off angle on me, I'm probably not going to re-peek it because you're going to lose that gunfight 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, and I don't think Toronto gave away any information right there off the rip. They both kind of hid behind their spawn pillar, so I think Optic Gaming LA is a little confused. I think Lokura might get caught off guard here.
Yeah, Jorgie has to get some cover on him. Great play by Jorgie.
Oh, and the C4 closes it. Honestly, I don't know how Lokura got that first kill. It seems like he was in a pretty bad spot, but that C4 was back-to-back rounds with utility closing it out. Long-range C4s.
That was the difference maker right there. I mean, he was in a really tough spot. Both the players on the Ultra knew where he was as well. So for them to get that one kill really changed around for Optic. Jorgie gets the one and Connor gets the trade. You're going to see this a lot with these Toronto Ultra players. They're going to be extremely fast with their trades. They've been doing this all year long and competitive. They're going to try to translate it as much as possible to gunfight too.
Yeah, and that was the Growl with the submachine gun type setup on it. So I think they were just playing super fast. They both just ran at him. It was a quick round. I think these rounds with the SMGs are going to benefit Ultra. Just pure, and fast, and the pace that these guys play at and how fast they want to trade and go at them. Slow round here. Throwing knives and a flash, I believe, both been used from Okura. Diamond Con sitting back, kind of playing that overlook role, right? He has royalty, playing aggressive, and he's just getting that information, kind of similar to how they played Shipment.
Yeah, I think it's a really good duo. Matt's one of the greatest entry players. Connor's one of the greatest ARs and challengers, so it makes a lot of sense for them to play with that same playstyle.
Yeah, and I think you might see one of these draw rounds now. Oh, never mind. As I say that, he gets super aggressive. I'm not sure why. That was gonna be a draw. Did
they both have full health there, Pat?
I believe so. There wasn't any early engagements. That was a super slow round. Unless the flash did like a 1-tick damage, I think they were pretty even. Maybe
I'm thinking the flash did a 1-tick. There's no way in a 2v2 he would have just. There's no way, Pat. He couldn't have just ran out on the flag like that, knowing that he was probably going to get cut.
I don't know. That was a unique situation. I think that could have came down to a draw, but Toronto, I feel like got a quick round there, taking a 4-2 lead, going into Deagles now with lasers.
Royalty just playing his information. Throws a flash out.
A lot of shouldering, a lot of peeking, just kind of getting that information. Remember, this is a one-shot headshot.
Yeah, Pat, I think they had flashes last round too. So one of those players had to have been hit by a flash, and it must have done like 1 damage to him or something,
Possibly, but if not, that was a big blunder. Getting aggressive.
Wow, look at the headshot by Matt.
Big one shot.
One versus one. Big trade for Connor. Connor gets the trade. 5-2 Toronto Ultra. Match point, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, I think, just the overall skill here is shining for Toronto. They're just playing really aggressive, and they're winning all their 1v1s, right? Like, they might get an early blood, get traded, but I think Diamond Con has been really clutch so far in this series, pretty much winning every 1v1 he's put in.
Yeah, the only one I remember him losing was the one on Shipment with the overtime flag, and he had the less health.
Yeah, and there's not really much you can do in that situation, but as far as all the straight-up 1v1s, he's clutched up, got royalties trade, back to another Deagle round.
This could be it right here.
Throwing knife kill. They have the throwing knife. Just do it. 5-2. Wait.
2 versus 1. All up to Jorgie.
How did he win that? That was a mid-air Deagle headshot. It's not the spot you want to be in if you're Georgie.
Imagine the
heroic throwing knife.
That's it.
And that's it.
Toronto Ultras are advancing to the finals. Minnesota Rocker versus Toronto Ultra in the grand finals. Winner takes home $40,000.
Another battle for the North.
That was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be, man. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, Stack's one of those maps where you can kind of play it either way. You can play slow or you can play super aggressive. And, I think they had 1 slow round, but other than that, they put the pace on. They kind of got in their face, got those early bloods. And, aside from the rounds that Optic got, those utility advantages, those 2 C4 rounds, that wasn't really close.
Yeah, I was expecting much more of a fight out of Optic Gaming LA, especially because they haven't lost a single round or a single map in this entire tournament yet. We all know how great Royalty and Diamond Con are, but I was expecting a lot more out of Optic LA. And Minnesota Rocker, like we said earlier, Dallas looked great throughout this first part of the bracket. Minnesota was able to clutch up. I think that the favorites have to be Ultra at this point just because of their skill and the way they just played that last round. But we know how much of a matchup by matchup game Call of Duty can be, especially with gunfight, especially if the maps are constantly changing, the guns are constantly changing. So I'm going to predict Toronto Ultra to win this whole tournament here, Pat, but it really just depends on what these maps are, because I really think that Royalty and Diamond Con with Shipment and Stack, those are 2 of the easier gunfight maps that are a lot easier to play without having to, practice small angles and off angles and stuff. So I think it's really going to come down to the maps in this finals here, Pat.
Yeah. And again, I mean, what's that now? 10 grand each for both of these teams in the final, Rocker and Toronto. Obviously they both want to double up, but so far you're happy. You got to be feeling good. For a week in a 2v2 gunfight, you already secured $10,000 of this $100,000 prize pool for some 2v2 gunfights. So, it's going to be a bloodbath in the final, Battle of the North. I'm interested to see who comes out with it.
For all of you people back at home right now who are just tuning into the stream, or if you guys don't follow Gunfight too much, this is basically the Call of Duty champs for 2 versus 2 gunfights. Whoever wins this tournament is the Call of Duty champions for 2 versus 2 gunfight throughout the entire year. And on top of that, coming home with $20,000 a player, a $100,000 prize pool. It's major, man. I mean, this is some life-changing money for these guys. And as we were saying earlier in the broadcast, if you guys weren't around, we were playing in grand finals 5 years ago versus the best teams in the game, representing the most popular FaZe Clan and Optic, the 2 biggest teams. We were playing for $2,500 each for first place in a tournament at a major. And to see these smaller, 2 versus 2 gunfight side games in Modern Warfare, to see these guys playing for these prize pools, to be able to have these opportunities, it's just something that makes me really happy as a competitor and as a fan of Call of Duty, just to see all the opportunities it's creating for all of these guys out here.
Yeah, and I mean, anyone could have played in this, right? I mean, even if you go back to the 3 events before the pandemic hit and online throughout the rest of the year in these qualifiers, you got a chance to represent one of these franchise teams in this and to fight for your chance of $100,000. And I don't know, man, like I said, we had the Chicago Huntsman upset early, but Toronto's basically been tried and true this whole time. Just won the Challengers Cup and going into the finals of the city circuit. That's back-to-back championships for these guys, and a lot of money that you can brag about that.
I think that if you're a player on Toronto Ultra, if you won this Challengers Cup and you're looking to get a spot as a starter in the CDL going into year 2, and right now there's teams that are kind of saying like, oh, I don't know. If you win this gunfight, I think it's guaranteed, Pat. If you're a gunfight world champ, if you're a Challengers world champ, you have the medal, you have to get into the starting roster next year, right? What more can you do as a player if you're trying to come up and get to that next level?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically as impressive as a resume as you can get. Pretty much the most prize money as you can throughout the year in the amateur scene. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe some of these guys deserve it. We'll see how that plays out in Roster Mania once the season concludes. But, hey, 30 grand if you won Challengers Cup. That's all you really need if I'm Diamond Connor Royalty. But as you see here, we got the, so far the placings and the prize payouts for everyone. I don't know, man. Toronto Ultra and Rocker, I don't think they want to get second. That's a big prize difference.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally doubling the amount of money that you're going to make just off of a couple of maps of gunfight. I mean, like we said, the margin for error is so small. And I think we saw that especially in that first matchup with the Dallas Empire and the Minnesota Rocker. I think that Dallas had an advantage in a lot of those rounds, and they were just, unfortunately, they just gave away a couple in the Minnesota, and that's the difference, right? I mean, that's the difference between $10,000, and that's the difference between $20,000. And we both know as competitors, we've had so many times where we went 5-5 last map. We've had 1 versus 1s. I mean, I've seen you in a 1 versus 1 to win a map 5-5 to put us up 2-0 in a grand final. So it really just comes down to having the ice in these moments. And sometimes you just can't even teach it. Sometimes it's just something that sticks in your blood, and some players don't. And I'm really excited to see the way that this grand final is going to play out, because Minnesota had the ice last map, Pat.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They clutch team, right? And I don't think they're going to forget that, right? They just clutched up that whole last semifinal. They shouldn't, in my opinion, have won it, but they did. They clutched round after round, man down, 1v2s. If they do that to the Ultra, I mean, I'd be surprised, but hey, they're hot. We'll see if they continue it.
They're going to have to continue the tactical use into this finals. They're going to have to continue playing smart. Obviously, the 1v2s are going to be a lot harder against a team like Ultra as compared to a team like Dallas Empire, because these players are vets. They're going to bring their A game. And honestly, I think Minnesota Rocker is going to be an underdog in this, Pat. But like you said, I think that they do have a chance of winning it. And $20,000 of a prize difference is a major prize difference. So again, Pat, if you could just tell me what these maps are, no, because if it's something like a speedball, if it's something like a king, I feel like Toronto has a really good chance at this. But if it's like the maps that are newer into the season, if it's the maps that we were playing last night, I think that Minnesota Rocker might have a better chance, because they probably put in a little bit more practice reps than Ultra did.
Yeah, I wish I could give you the maps for this one. Prize, we don't have those yet, so we'll see what those are. But like you mentioned, I think, if I'm Rocker, right, and I saw my strengths and they probably know theirs, they open for some submachine gun rounds, some shotgun rounds, and I'm sure on the side, Ultra's hoping for that assault rifle, maybe even sniper classes, something they could sit back, especially Diamond Con. But we're going to play first maps on Rust, so we do have that now. That again is going to be that high ground map. I think that suits the Ultra, but hey, Rocker was just super clutch on that, so who knows? That's going to be a slugfest.
See, Pat, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think if Toronto Ultra is gonna win this tournament, they're gonna have to make it from being down 0-1, just because Diamond Khan is a newer player. He probably hasn't played much Rust. We just saw Minnesota Rocker have some of the most incredible clutches on Rust to win and move on to this finals here. So I actually think Minnesota is gonna win the first map. And if Toronto's going to win this, we're going to have to clutch up in games 2 and 3. And it's really going to come down to if these maps are maps that Toronto Ultra is familiar with. If it's maps like Shipment, if it's maps like Speedball, King, even Pine, I think they have a good chance of winning it. But if it's going to be Rust, I don't think that Minnesota Rockers are going to lose this, especially since they just played it and they just got some practice reps on it too.
That's a fair point. I do have the maps for you. We got Rust, Shipment, and Stack. Ultra looked really strong on Stack just a minute ago. You know, that's map 3. If it goes there, you're feeling good if you're a Diamond Con and Royalty fan. But Shipment and Rust, I don't know. I feel like those could go either way, man. Either way.
I think Shipment will go to Ultra, and I don't know how good Minnesota Rocker is on Stack, but we did just see Ultra was great on that map. So I think that this actually does benefit the Ultra. Like I said, I really thought it was going to come down to the maps. There's so many 2v2 gunfight maps out now. And to have a map like Shipment, which is so symmetrical, not too many vantage points with high ground. You know, it's not a map like Cargo where you can go up the steps. We were playing that last night. A lot of different vantage points, a lot of different ways of going around the map. I feel like Shipment, very cut and dry map. Stack, very cut and dry map. Rust, a lot of different angles. I'm expecting Minnesota to go up 1-0, and I think Toronto's going to come back and win the next 2.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I mean, we saw Rocker on Rush, right? They look pretty strong. We're very clutch, and we've seen Ultra on both Shipment and Stack. So we kind of know what to expect out of Ultra, but we don't really know what we're going to see out of Rocker on Shipment. That could be their best map. We don't know. We saw Ultra did have quite a few strategies on how they wanted to play that map, but again, I think it's going to come down to the loadouts, man. I think if Rocker can get some SMGs, some shotguns, play at the kind of pace they want to, where they were super aggressive, maybe they blood Royalty and get some 2v1s against Diamond Con. There's really not much he can do if he's having to trade out with shotguns and submachine guns. I mean, as you know, he's a main AR for that Triumph team. Maybe he can't clutch up, so we'll see what Rocker can do. I'm going to favor them on Rust. We saw how they played it. We don't know how Ultra's going to play, but Stack, that's probably if you're Ultra, like, there's really not much. I think they have the perfect setup, right? They have that slow guy who's going to sit back and look over him, which is Diamond Con, and you got Royalty who's going to play super fast. And looking at how Rocker played in that Dallas series, like if they give away first bloods to Ultra, they're not going to win that map at all.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that too, Pat, because I think Diamond Khan is going to sit back. I played against him a lot too in Challengers. He's a really good stationary AR who just holds the position really well. And in these gunfight tournaments, that's exactly what he's going to be doing. We saw him win so many 1v1s. I think he probably went like 5-1 in his 1v1s in that last series.
At least, yeah.
You can't really ask for much more. I mean, you can't win every single 1v1. And the one that he lost literally came down to one last bullet with a slide on Shipment and getting into his head and flustering up a little bit. If they could get him first blooded, find Diamond Con in the back of the map and kind of single him out and not overextend their lives, because Diamond Con will find a small little angle to pick one of these guys off to force it to a 1v1. They're going to have to be really smart, get the first bloods on the Royalty, and then single out Diamond Con if they have a chance of winning this, I think.
Yeah, I think, I'm thinking now, I think who wins this is going to be decided on Shipment. I mean, I think if Ultra go up, 1-0, obviously if they win Shipment, they win. But I think if Rocker can win that Shipment, no matter, which way it goes, I think they win the series. So I think it's going to be decided on Shipment. I can't wait to get to map 2, but we'll start out with Rust. And I don't know, man. You say that favors Rocker, but I think that favors Ultra. I feel like that's a map where Diamond Con can just sit back, play his pace, play slow, and just let Royalty run around. But we'll see. We're loading into it right now.
Here we go, guys. The grand finals of the Call of Duty City Circuit gunfight. Winner takes home 40,000. Loser takes home 20,000. Map 1, Rust, 402 with the first blood onto Triflex. Immediate trade out of Zuri to make it a 1v1. Diamond Con, he's had the ice throughout this tournament. He's been able to win majority of his 1v1s to see if he can clutch this.
Yeah, and I don't think Royalty was able to do any damage to Zuri, so they should both be full health. UMP, red dots, interesting loadout.
What I find interesting is that Diamond Con is flanking him, and it looks like Zuri is not even looking behind him.
Yeah, but once he gets to that overtime, I don't think this might be a draw round. I don't think Diamond Con knows he's behind him though. Oh, that was actually a really heads-up play out of Zuri. I think once he pushed through and realized Diamond Con wasn't on that side of the map, he just backed up and kind of anticipated the flank. if I'm Diamond Con right there, I would have kept going the route he was going. He kind of, I feel like, hesitated, turned back, and wanted to get that high ground, but he made the right play initially, and then kind of just gave up midway through.
Yeah, once you miss the jump onto that pipe, I feel like you should just continue going forward. But Triflex is going to get the first blood on Royalty. This is exactly what we were saying. So far in these early rounds, I know it's just the UMPs, but it looks like Minnesota's playing their game, and they're getting their first bloods on Royalty, just like I was saying earlier. If they get those and force Diamond Con into a 1v1 or a 1v2, I think that's going to be the best bet. And I think Triflex might have got some info on him, too.
Yeah, I think he might have seen him there. That stun definitely gave him away.
It's a good frag
grenade.
grenade.
Try to do some damage. Didn't connect, but again, I mean, I think these SMGs are gonna benefit the Rocker. This should be a guaranteed round win. They have the advantage, and yeah, easy cleanup.
Yeah, the way they just play that, if you could get the high ground in a 1 versus 2 and the guy on low could just bait out, the guy on top is going to get this kill every single time. So the setup, the positioning, everything out of Minnesota Rocker right there was flawless.
Yeah, and you know, if I'm Ultra, Royalty's gotta, I think, realize that they're gonna play super aggressive for those first bloods on him, and maybe just sit back and take his time.
What was that pistol kill?
That was clean.
Damn, Zuri!
These pistols and subs, man, they're gonna benefit Rocker, and they're going for the throwing knives. They should be feeling really confident right now.
Damn, Zuri!
That round.
You see his name, Pat? I gotta say that with some emphasis. Damn, Zuri!
Was that Diamond Con that he blooded?
I think that was. I'm not too sure.
I think it was Diamond Con, and that's.
I think you might be right. Yeah, it was Diamond Con.
That's something you gotta win, especially as a main AR player. You're someone that's used to those angles sitting back, but sick blood out of Zuri.
Wow. I did not expect the 3-0 start. Royalty gets the first blood. This is going to be a really big bounce back round that they're going to need. But if anyone could clutch it, it's going to be damn Zuri.
He's going for it. Royalty using that cover to his advantage. That was a tough round to win, but
I like the confidence right there that I saw out of him, though. He was feeling himself, and he didn't really have much of a play.
Shotgun back pocket. That's, you know, that's all you could hope for if you have a pistol when you're just on that heady. But a 3-0 start was hot. Let's see if Ultra can bounce back.
They're going to have to win at least another 2 rounds here to make, or at least win this to make it a 3-2. I mean, you can't go down 4-1. You know how hard it is to come back from that.
They do have FALs, which should benefit Ultra here. Shotty in the back pocket. Your guy, Zuri, in the 1v2.
I'm sorry, his name is Damn Zuri?
All right, I'll let you make sure you specify every time I call him.
When I see him make a play, I'm going to give it some hype. I gotta say it how it is. That pistol kill got me going. It's the grand finals and he's showing up. He's trying to take home the money. 1 versus 2. If he could clutch this, I'm gonna lose my mind. If he knew that the player was right behind there, could you imagine?
Ultra's playing this really slow, forcing him out. He's gonna get shot in his back after this. Not much he can do. That's I mean, hey, that's what you want to see out of Ultra, right? They get the 2v1 and then they play really, really passive, forcing them out to make a play on the flag, and there's not much you can do. That's flawless execution.
Well, Pat, if he was a little bit more to the left, that means that Diamond Con wouldn't be able to get an angle and he could have captured that flag after he killed Royalty. That would have been a dagger. You see how quickly the momentum could change in these rounds and the split-second decision making?
Yeah, how fast they play out.
What was that?
Just killed him.
I might have to start saying damn triplex after that. Diamond Con had an easy 1v2 lined up. Oh man, he's gonna regret it if he doesn't win this. He had them both pinned and lined up together.
Yeah, but your boy Zuri's gotta have full. Diamond Con is really low. He's got the advantage. Diamond Con has to come to him. Hopefully that nade does not tag him. It doesn't, and that's a solid win.
He's gonna be really upset about that when he looks back. He had both of those players lined up. That was an easy collateral right there for Diamond Con to win the round and make it 3-3.
You didn't give your boy any gas for that clutch. I'm disappointed in you.
I mean, the way this is going, I just think that, you know, honestly, I thought Diamond Con should have had it. I mean, he had damn Zuri right on the side, you know, right on the side, ready to get the kill. And maybe it's just Zuri's day. You know, maybe it's just his day. Maybe he's going to take down the money. 1 versus 2 for damn Zuri! Damn, Zuri!
This guy is not playing around.
Look at him go. He just gunned the #1 SMG KD in the Challengers Grand Final Championship. Royalty. He had the highest kill death ratio out as an SMG, and he just straight gunned him.
He's coming for his 20K, man. That was sick.
He's coming for the money. He's coming for the roster spot. He's coming for everything.
He's DMing fellow on the side. Hey, I just gunned Royalty. You might have to relook into this.
Yo, were you able to drop this guy?
Spot? Were you able to get in this spot in Modern Warfare 2 in the previous Rust, or is that new?
This has to be new. I don't remember any of this, honestly, Pat. I think they changed a lot of it around.
Yeah, like a lot of mantle spots. Another 1v1, Diamondcon and Zuri. I feel like we've said this the whole map.
You know Zuri's gonna win it. It's not gonna be close. Easy win for damn Zuri. Minnesota Rocket win game 1, 6-2, convincing win. Just as I predicted, Pat. I knew this was gonna happen. I'm just gonna toot my own horn for a second. Just give me my moment. As we can see, damn Zuri, 10-2
performance.
MVP. If Minnesota Rocker win this, they're gonna have Zuri be the MVP.
Triflex is thanking him for that performance. That was actually absurd. He clutched almost every round, got every blood, did everything he had to do to win that map, and that wasn't even close.
I mean, Pat, the only deaths he had was when he was in a 1v2 and he got pinched. What more can you really ask for out of the kid?
Rust is his map, bro. That's just all it is. Damn, Zuri owns Rust.
Well, moving on to map 2, like you said, it's going to be Shipment, and then we're going to be moving on into Royalty and Diamondcon wouldn't have too much practice on a map like Rust. Obviously, Royalty played it a lot. I do not think Diamondcon did. On Modern Warfare, though, I don't think Royalty played it that much either. I mean, like we said, the Rust that we're used to from Modern Warfare 2 is slightly different from it in this game. So I just really think that Minnesota Rocker had a lot more practice for this. They obviously just played it into the semifinals earlier. So I'm not that surprised that Ultra went down 1-0, but I am expecting a bounce back on this Shipment because this is a map that they're very acquainted to. They know it very well. I'm sure they had a lot of practice on it. So if they're going to win this, I think they could win this next map and force it to a game 3, which honestly, Pat, I would have no idea who's going to win at that point.
I don't know, man. I think I've been convinced. I think Zuri's the MVP of this. I mean, that performance right there, you gotta be, you gotta be on top of the world. He just absolutely had his way with the Ultra that map. There was nothing they could do to stop him. And confidence like that after winning map 1, that's gonna carry over to Shipment, where it's just close range engagements like that. I don't know. I think I switched sides, man.
You're switching up on me?
2-0. I'm going Rocker 2-0.
You're going my boy Damn Zuri?
Yep, they're ending it here on Shipment.
Well, I mean, he hit a couple of crazy shots, starting with that pistol shot across the map on Diamondcon, and ever since then, he never looked back. But if anyone can bounce back, it's going to be these guys on Triumph, or on Toronto Ultra. I'm sorry, they're players on Challengers Team Triumph, but they bounce back. They're very resilient. They've been in this situation before. It's Shipment. It's a really easy map. I don't think that Minnesota Rocker's going to win this. I actually think Toronto's going to win it. I'm going to call it right now. I think Toronto's going to win this map 6-3, to be quite frank with you. And I think Royalty's going to have a big map.
When you think about it, though, Doug, Shipment is a pure confidence map. Like, pure confidence. And you just come out after doing that map 1. I mean, like, I don't know. I think Zuri's just going to close it out. I mean, dude, like you said, there really wasn't anything he could have done better that map. The times he died, it was just like, it was out of his hands. He was in a bad position and the round was pretty much over anyway. I think he's going to come out and fry again. He looked phenomenal that map. He's going to do it again.
I disagree with you, Pat. I think Damn Zuri is the man. But if I know anything about these guys, Diamondcon and Royalty, which I know them extremely well, they have a lot of money on the line. They want to get out on top. They want to win this money. They're going to look back at Rust and say, you know what? Forget about it. First of all, we're not going to play this ever again. Second of all, we haven't played this map that much to begin with. We know Shipment. We know our game plan. We just played this map in the series before. We had a decisive win. I honestly just think that Toronto's going to win this 6-3, and I think it's going to force a game 3. And like I said, at that point, Pat, I don't know who's going to come out on top. I really don't, but I just really think this is Toronto's map to lose.
We'll see. We're loading in right now. We got pistols round 1 again.
This is Diamondcon's kryptonite. And we got Damn Zuri on the feed. What's he gonna do? He just won a Diamondcon.
Oh, I don't think he knew he fell down.
He did some damage on him. I like how he got across the map over here. He just caught him in the side. He had no idea. Zuri's playing this so well.
We got the extended mag on the pistol too. Oh, that was close. He could have had that one. That was close. I think he was a little weak from the initial chow as well.
No, he wasn't weak at all. He had 100 health. It was a full-on 100. Yeah, it was 100. He just turned slightly a little bit later than Royalty came around the corner. I think that was the difference right there. And for Royalty as well, I mean, he played that with the utmost confidence, and that's what I'm talking about. I mean, he's a veteran of the scene now at this point. He's been around for a while. He has a lot of accomplishments under his belt. and he's not going to let a map like Rust affect him going into map 2. And that's what I like to see out of a player like Royalty, just bouncing back and being confident, especially in a map like Shipment. I want to see him going around and just being the most confident version of himself, win or lose.
An ego challenge, some tough gunfights.
Absolutely.
Hopefully no 2v1s though. Let's see, I think Royalty's in the middle crate here.
They don't have any information on Ultra.
Flag. Yeah, this is a good setup too for the overtime flag. Diamondcon might get picked. Oh, he actually wins the gunfight on Triflex, and that was a good
Did
clap.
you see how fast he just shredded Diamondcon?
Yeah, well, he would have to have been weak from his teammate.
At this point, I don't even know. It looked like he was only hitting him in the head. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't weak.
He had to have been weak. There was a gunfight on his teammate's screen right before it switched to him. There's no way he wasn't weak at all.
I'm guessing Triflex whiffed every bullet and Zuri just insta-vacuum in the head. Wow.
Oh my.
What just happened? We have to see this replay.
How did he?
What? How did he kill him that fast?
What is that?
What sense is he on, Pat? I'm gonna have to text this guy after this and find out.
That was one of those 2020 like insta flicks. That was absurd.
I've never seen anything like that.
And that was a headshot?
Oh my god.
That was actually insane.
This is a 3-0 start for the Ultra. This is a great start. This is what you want to see, man.
I don't think Royalty's died yet.
I agree.
I think he's gotten every final kill in all 3 of these rounds.
Oof.
Good thing we're staying on board with him. This guy is nasty. This guy's been playing pubs with this gun for sure. There's no way you hit a shot like he just hit without just grinding serious hours with this gun.
Triflex should try to hit a crazy shot. I wish Royalty backed up right there, but regardless, 1 versus 2. Diamondcon gets 1. Unable to find the trade. Minnesota Rocker.
Good bounce
Get them
back.
round they really needed right there. Of course, it's our guy, Damn Zuri. He has had Diamondcon's number throughout these 2 maps, no doubt.
I don't even know if you can be mad if you're Rocker on how you lost the round before that. Like, Royalty just instantly killed 2 of them. So, in their mind, they're probably down 2-1. So we got the 8K with a red dot.
I like where Diamondcon is. If he could just turn around, he could have seen him.
Zuri gets the blood. This is a good spot up in this crate. You're kind of protected from all angles, and you get to kind of peek about the map as you want.
I'm curious to see if he jumps down and challenges. It looks like he's going to see him. He knows he's here. He knows he's here. He gets the kill.
All right.
Big bounce back round.
Royalty versus Zuri fight right now on Shipment.
Was that a Damn Zuri 1v1 on Diamondcon again?
Yeah, and he got the kill right before that. So technically that would have been an ace.
I'm going to need our producers in the back to find out the engagements with Damn Zuri and Diamondcon, because I swear he has probably killed him at least 10 times in this matchup so far. Make that 11. First blood, Damn Zuri and Diamondcon. He's going to get baited.
This 1v2. 2 quick bounce back rounds for the Rocker, tying up 3-3. Damn Zuri's just taking over. Like I said, he came out hot on the Rust. I know Royalty started hot on the Shipment, but that was 3 quick rounds and I think Zuri got 6 kills right there.
The resiliency out of Minnesota Rocker is quite impressive. The way they were able to bounce back versus Dallas, the way they were down 0-3 in this matchup. Diamondcon finally kills Damn Zuri. That might be the switch right there. That might have been all he needed, because I swear I don't think Diamondcon got him once this entire series so far. So to be able to get that trade, putting them up 4-3 after losing 3 rounds in a row, really, really big bounce back round.
Yeah, and they got super aggressive with MP5s. I think that caught them off guard, especially after losing momentum, losing 3 straight rounds. I don't think the Rocker was expecting, Ultra to play that fast. They just ran right at him and forced those gunfights. But back to more MP5s.
If anyone has experience with the MP5, it's the Ultra players, right?
Yeah, they've been using it all year long, especially Royalty.
Oh!
Wow.
Was that Triflex?
Yeah, Zuri got the blood and then Triflex ended the round. That's when Diamond's gotta win.
Oh, that's why he's a main AR, Pat.
If
he's got the M4, he's not missing a bullet there.
You might be right. Oh no, we're going back to pistols. This is Zuri's playground.
Pistol shotgun. Let's see what happens here. 4-4.
This is the burst pistol as well. I think it has a laser on it, so gonna have some good hip fire if they don't pull out that shotgun for close range.
If Minnesota win 2 rounds, they come home with $40,000. It's over. Toronto's gonna have to win these next 2 rounds to force a game 3. Zuri taking some damage off the rip.
If I'm Zuri, I don't even know if I'm using this shotgun. His pistol shot is on fire.
At this range, I feel like you have to use the shotgun, right? Royalty with a huge kill on Triflex.
Does get some early damage. And yeah, there's really not much you can do. I don't know. I would have liked to see Zuri stay kind of, you know, in that, you know, going for first bloods with that pistol. It was the burst pistol with a red dot, so maybe he could do exactly what he did the Diamond Con the round before. That shotgun that's a tough one to use. It's a slow reload, but Diamond Con comes big with the trade. Match point for the Ultra.
Will this go round 11 and Minnesota Rocker wins right here? Or
like,
is
how much
3?
damage do you think that shot just did? It had to do like 10. Like nothing at all to be worried about.
You can kind of see it on Diamond Con's character. It looks like it did around like maybe 20, like 20.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe 20, 18 or so.
Royalty loves this crate. He's played it almost every round, getting in there with a shotgun. I'm liking that Rocker are finally sticking together. That's something that they weren't doing early on. Now they're playing these early rounds really together to get info. Triflex gets super aggressive up top.
Big first blood by Royalty.
Right into Royalty. Zuri with the trade.
Wait, where was Zuri? Why was Zuri looking the other way? Did he not know that Diamond Con went behind him?
No, I think he thought he went to the right. I think Triflex might have called him out that he saw him there, and once he traded Royalty, he just expected him to go the other way.
Wow.
Zuri again with a Tim bomb, though. I mean, there's really not much he can do, you know, more. He needs Triflex to step it up. They're going into stack. You know, he's dropped 20 kills so far in 2 maps. He needs his teammate to help him out.
Listen, if Minnesota Rocker are able to come home and win this tournament, you might as well just give $35,000 to damn Zuri. I mean, at this point, this guy is putting on. You can't ask for much more out of him. I mean, between the first map and just clutching everything and getting 10 kills, I think he went, what, 10 and 2? Right?
10 and 2, 10 and 3, yeah.
And on this map, he just went 10 and 6. I thought that they really had a chance of winning that. I think did they go up 4-3 at some point, or they were down 3-0? Yeah, they tied it up. They went down 4-3. They tied it 4-4. They had their opportunities and their chances, but they let Royalty get into some really key spots. The middle crate, laying down, Diamond Con just playing the bait on him. I mean, that's the perfect way that you want to be seeing that out of the Ultra. And I was 1 round off of my prediction, Pat. I said Ultra 6-3. It looked like they were going to do it. They were up 3-0, but they lost a couple of them. Minnesota very resilient, coming back, losing 6-4. Game 3, $40,000 on the line here, Pat. Who do you got winning this for Stack?
I mean, if you just look at the stats, right? Damn, Zuri has a 2.0 right now. He's 20 and 9 in 2 maps. You got to think he's
unreal.
Hot. He's on top right now. If he can carry that performance over and Triflex steps it up, I think we see a Rocker win. But you know, Triflex hasn't had the, you know, really a good map yet, right? Like he was 2 and 9 and then, or 2 and 7 and then 3 and 6, I think. So he's had 2 really bad maps. He really needs to step it up here. Zuri's like, hey man, like I got you on my back. Just you know, take a little weight off and I'll get us this dub. So
I'm trying to remember, Pat, going back to that last, I'm sorry to cut you off, but going back to that last match with the Dallas Empire, did Triflex have any major key moments in those games? Because I remember seeing Zuri a lot making plays.
He had one of those 1v2s. One of those 1v2s Triflex had.
Okay, good. Okay, because so far in this tournament, especially in the grand finals, like you said, Triflex has to step it up. I mean, I know it's 2v2 gunfight. I know things don't go your way, but as a competitor, as somebody who's practiced this, as somebody who's able to get to the grand finals, you can't let your teammate down. You can't let your partner down, especially in a 2v2 game mode. Even if you're not going, you know, 10 and 6 or 7 and 7, even if you go like 4 and 7 and you clutch a 1v1 to win the round, like, you know,
you just got to limit those first bloods, right? Like if you're Triflex, I think you need to kind of sit back and realize your team's hot. Like just don't put them in 1v2s. Play more together, stay together, work the map as a unit. You're going into stack, which, you know, that's going to be important. I know that's kind of one of those maps where you do have a kind of one guy sitting back looking over another. But I mean, hey, like Zuri's hot. You gotta assist him any way you can. And I think the best way to do that right now is just to stick together and play those trades efficiently. And you know, we're going into stack. We're gonna see if, you know, Ultra go with that same setup they had in the last series where Diamond Con sat back, Royalty got aggressive. Maybe that works for them. Maybe it bites them in the butt, and Royalty gets blooded a lot.
If I'm somebody on Minnesota Rocker, specifically Triflex, I'm sitting back, I'm getting as much information, I'm throwing my tacticals, I'm trying to hit some tight shimmies, but here we go, Pat. Game 3, $40,000 on the line.
Grand Finals last map, 40 grand.
We're on board with Diamond Con. He's going to throw a smoke to his right. They're going to get Nixie with the shotgun to see if anybody is brave enough to push. Obviously, there's so much money on the line here. This is a $10,000 swing map, literally a $10,000 map of gunfight right here. As predicted.
This setup that we had last on shipment looks like Rocker's getting really aggressive. Royalty is weak. Why did Diamond Con lose Royalty right there?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is gonna be a round for the Rocker. I don't know how he's gonna win this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Royalty was sitting in that corner calling out that they were both pushing him, and Diamond Con just went for a wrap. Maybe he thought they would go for the flag, but I don't know. I think that was a big mishap. Royalty needed him right there.
Yeah, I think that Diamond Con should have just been around that area. You can't expect. I mean, he threw a C4 in front of him. He looked in front of him. Nobody was peeking him. If I'm Diamond Con, I'm turning around, especially since Royalty most likely called out that 2 guys are pushing him too. So definitely a mistake out of that round 1 from the Ultra. And all these
something you want to look at for the Rocker is they did what I hoped they would do. They're playing super together. They're not splitting up. They're baiting and switching. Royalty's getting aggressive, and Zuri again is getting these opening picks, and Triflex is always by his side. So if they keep this up, you might see them run away with it.
Zuri is 3-0 right now. He's gotten every single kill.
Yeah, and look at Triflex. He's just kind of, hey, look, man, I know you're hot. I'm gonna sit here. I'm not gonna die. You let me know what you need.
Oh my god!
My god, he's just not missing.
How is he? Can we just stay on Bull Reserve?
Hold on. Yeah, we gotta stay. We're talking about Diamond Con and Royalty getting a spot. Some franchise just might need to hit this guy up.
I mean, we gotta stay on Bull Reserve going into this next round because his pistol is not Deagle. We need to go on Bull Reserve with the Deagle. We gotta see this guy hit some crazy headshots across the map with this thing.
Well, he's top right on your screen right now. Trying with the knife. Imagine that would have connected. Yeah, he's on fire right now. Don't understand getting aggressive. I think that was one of those plays where you won 2 rounds, you're feeling confident, but they didn't need to do that. I think they saw that the Ultra were sitting back, and then they just gave them a free round. So
yeah, I would have loved to see Minnesota Rocker, just like they were playing that 2v1 the last round, play it the same way with the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing something like this and it's working, you got to stick with it. You can't just switch it up and get aggressive on the fly, because Ultra's gonna punish you for that. So hopefully they go back to that strat. Who is number 7? Looks like Triflex is pushed up aggressive on this right side. I hope he doesn't overpeak. Does hit a big shot on Diamond Con, so that's super important. Got that health down. That's gonna matter for overtime.
Yeah, I mean, I think Minnesota Rocker at full health, and Royalty is really weak. He only has like 20% health, and Diamond Con's around 50. But yeah, you could get a headshot with the Deagle, 1 bullet.
Yeah, but when you're going up against Zuri, who is just on fire so far.
Wow.
we gotta stay on board with him. We gotta stay on board with him. He's not missing.
I think he's at 6 kills. Does his teammate even have 1 kill?
I don't think.
I'm serious.
No, he did. He got 1. He got 1 in the last round, and remember on the flag point right before overtime.
Oh, and Zuri like literally hit him across snap with 2 bullets in the head.
Yeah. He got the 10 damage. Oh, an SMG round. You gotta think this favors Rocker here.
I don't know. With the way Zuri's playing, I don't think it matters.
I think Ultra's getting flustered. They're splitting up, getting aggressive when they don't need to. Again,
I mean, Diamond Con's on top center. Royalty's hitting the side. Like, I don't know what the strategy here is for Ultra, but...
Yeah, I think they're just getting flustered. They're playing way too aggressive.
Wow! Okay. Huge round right there.
Diamond Con's not playing Modern Warfare. He just flew off the top rope.
Literally.
Oh, okay.
He literally just flew off the top rope.
Maybe that was the strat. Royalty, go throw your life away and let Diamond Con world star them.
That was around that I think that Minnesota should have won that. Yeah. Diamond Con's getting hot. Royalty's bouncing back. It looks like their strategy is starting to work now aggressive.
For them. I want to see a round 11. A round 11 in the finals of the city circuit, last map. That'd be sick. All right, so put on board with Diamond Con here. I think this is a AR. They're going back to their bread and butter, which is Diamond Con sitting back. But I like this out of Rocker. They're not getting too aggressive, not getting too zealous, not wanting to peek. Hopefully Triflex stays on those steps. I don't want to see him push up. Royalty's in a great spot, though. This is a good 50-50 play. This is going to work out really well in his favor. Or getting blooded. Looks like Triflex is going aggressive on the flag. We need Zuri to watch his back. He is watching his back. They should have a good setup right here. This should be a first blood for Zuri. Oh, he lets him get by.
Royalty with the play. Royalty with the play.
Zuri had like the right idea, but if you see right there on the Codcaster vision, he just wasn't watching the back door. He was watching the back steps, and that just costed them. That could have been an easy win for the Rocker. But Royalty clutched up. Man.
And to think, wasn't the Rocker up 3-0 in this, or 3-1?
Yeah, I think it was 3-1. They came out super hot. Zuri was like 6-1.
If I'm Royalty, I'm just playing this crate the entire rest of the match. I don't know what Diamond Con was doing. He should have been looking over his teammate there.
Triflex got a stun on Royalty and just played for it right away. I like to see him backing up, regrouping with his teammate. That was a good round.
4-4. 4-4. Whoever wins 2 more rounds wins $20,000 additional dollars, $40,000 total, Pat. Oh my God, you can't ask for a better grand finals than this, man. I hope this goes round 11. We haven't seen it once yet.
Oh, we got M14s. That's got a favorite Diamond Con. He's probably smiling ear to ear right now. That was the gun he wanted. He gets to sit back and just pick them all.
I'm not betting against Zuri right now, the way he's been playing in this, honestly.
Both these teams are on really fast sensitivities. They're flicking super quick. And if you look back at that Royalty clip on Shipment,
Zuri just hit a crazy shot on a Royalty.
With a big blood. A 2v1. They cannot throw this away. This is super important. This goes up 5-4. Play your life. Good
Zuri with
trade.
another kill. This is exactly what you want to see out of Triflex, though.
I think
just bait for his teammate.
I think he might be at 9. He's won off his 10 bomb in every single map.
I think Triflex has 1 kill at this point, and Zuri has 9.
Yeah, Zuri's just getting every tease. But hey,
Match
Triflex
point.
played that smart right there. He didn't throw away that life and let Zuri come for the trade. But yeah, you got to be nervous if you're the Ultra. This is a
Match
big
point
round.
for the Rocker, Pat.
$20,000 round.
I'm predicting Zuri first blood, 2 kills. There it is.
Getting aggressive.
There it is.
Oh,
he got 1 on Royalty. Here it is. It's over. It's over. The Minnesota Rocker win. 6-4.
And Zuri with another 10 bomb.
Oh no, Triflex got the kill at the end.
No, but he got the first blood though. Oh,
look at the stats, man.
I was off.
He dropped 28 kills in 3 maps of gunfight. He averages 9 kills a map.
That was insane. He earned it, man. He was the MVP of that whole tournament. But hey, congratulations, $40,000 to Damn, Zuri, and Triflex, representing the Minnesota Rocker. Wow, that was impressive.
$40,000. Damn, Zuri better be getting at least $30,000 of that prize money after that performance in the finals. Pat, what is your thoughts overall? Final 4 matches, this championship match. Just tell me what you think about all this, man.
I mean, I think that was a completely different Rocker than we saw versus Dallas, right? Like Dallas, they looked against Dallas, they looked a little flustered. They were playing too fast. They weren't together, but they came out hot against the Ultra. And damn, Zuri was on fire. 28 kills in 3 maps. He had at least a 2.0 KD. He couldn't be stopped. He was the MVP. And hey, man, we expected Ultra to show us something, but damn, Zuri wasn't playing around today.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, spot on. I think the story is all about damn Zuri, right? And after that pistol kill he had on the rust across the map with Connor, I just want to say congratulations to the Minnesota Rocker. Thank you guys all for tuning in. This was the City Circuit Gunfight Finals. Minnesota Rocker came home with $40,000. I'm going to be signing off here. My name is Doug Sensor Martin alongside Patrick Akes Price. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of CDL Champs weekend. And we're out, guys. See ya.
Have a good one, guys.
It all starts right now.
What happens when the bright lights of the stage become the warm glow of your monitor? When the echoes of glory don't come from the adoring masses, but from a set of headphones. Do you let change consume you, or do you answer the call? Stand up, prove it doesn't matter where or when or how.
It's madness!
This is your team's call to glory. This is the Call of Duty League Championship. The time is now to reach out, touch greatness.
The battle of the Titan. What a rampage this is. Oh my! For the truth, they close it out.
Make them stop and say, hear your team's name reverberating in eternity. And now, glory is just a heartbeat away. The time to put your stamp on this new era is now. So soak in every moment, because this is your call to be the best, to be the first, to prove once and for all the road to glory wasn't given, it's been earned.
It all comes down to these next 2 days. The hard work, the commitment, the fight to win has pushed only 4 above the pack. Huntsmen are looking for their seat on the throne, but standing in their way are the London Royal Ravens, who carry the weight of a whole country on their shoulders. Atlanta Fays are filled with tiny terrors and talent who are looking for their next taste of glory, but the Empire will have more to say about that as they look to build a new legacy. Now, as we soar over the stadium and drop into Verdansk, it's easy to reflect on the countless hours of work and dedication that has been poured into this moment. And over our Champs weekend, obstacles are going to be the cost of greatness for our 4 teams. Pride, place, and millions of dollars on the line, with only one team that can earn the right to call themselves the Call of Duty League champions. Who will it be? Well, we are here to find out. My name is Lottie Van Prague, and I'm going to be hosting your Champs weekend alongside 2 incredible people who, of course, have been here doing their best to analyze all of the incredible Call of Duty action we do have coming your way and have throughout the playoffs. It's Pac-Man and Nameless. Gents, of course, we were just a second ago in our new US Air Force Command Center. Had a new little drip for Champs, of course. Pac, how are you feeling, man? It's day 1 of Champs. Big stuff on the line today. So are you feeling pretty powerful to be watching all of this unfold before you?
I'm super hyped. I feel super blessed to be here, just be able to watch this Call of Duty with all the things that are going on in the world. And here we are, watching the best teams in the world compete for the highest prize that's ever existed in Call of Duty. What more could you ask for? It's amazing.
I don't know. Maybe I could ask for a chip. I'd love to be on one of those teams and winning potentially that amount of money. Nameless, how are you doing today, pal? Good morning to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are. I feel fantastic. Today is going to be absolutely insane. I'm kind of angry I had to wait a week to watch this after how it ended last week. I only wanted more, and now we finally have it. Can't wait for the games to begin.
I feel you, brother. I feel you totally there. But of course, it is Champs now. It is exactly what we've been waiting for. Let's take a look. Without further ado, of course, our US Army schedule. Beginning your Champs, we have London Royal Ravens taking on the Huntsmen. Then our Game Fuel marquee match is going to be FaZe versus Empire. And then, of course, we have our elimination final. One of these teams is going to be going through. One is going to be going home. Big stuff on the line. Of course, on Sunday, it's our CDL game day presented by Game Fuel. It is our championship match. It feels kind of surreal to actually be saying that out loud. I cannot believe we are here right now. It's pretty incredible. We're going to have a look, of course, at our bracket too. But I just want to ask, Pac, with our matches that we're seeing today, what are you looking forward to the most? I know we don't have too many coming out of it, but out of our 2, is there one that's really standing out to you here?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Huntsman Royal Ravens matchup, just because on paper it seems like the Huntsman should have a huge advantage going into that match, but that Royal Ravens team that we saw last week is scary. They clutched up, they won the domination when they needed to, and then we have that Shawnee guy. Who was that guy? We have that. Yeah, big Shawnee on the map. We have no idea what kind of Royal Ravens we're going to see. That's super exciting to me.
We don't, and that's exactly what everybody at home has to decide. We have our perfect bracket challenge here, presented by Metro. Let's see who is going to be ruling the day. We got I don't know at the top of that, and do you know what, pal? I'm with you. I don't know either. This is so tough. We're coming into Champs, and anything could happen. I don't know either. So I'm loving the first place there with 79 points with the name I don't know. Because let's be honest, who does? We're gonna have, of course, to talk about the money next, because Guys, you know the prize pool, people at home. YouTube, come on, you've seen it. Look at this board. It's a lot of money on the line, Nameless. I mean, so much pressure coming into this. And do you think, right now, I think for everyone at home maybe wondering, does the money have any kind of factor at this point for the teams? Like, is the pressure because of the money, or is it because of the name and the glory that's given at the end of the day?
I think it's the glory, right? Because, coming into today, all these teams are guaranteed $450,000. Traditionally in COD Champs, that's like the usual first place prize. And now if you win one game for Chicago and Royal Ravens, that's 600 grand you're guaranteed. So it goes up 150 and then 300 grand. And then the final is an extra $600,000. Like, that's unbelievable amounts of money, and I don't think it's going to add extra pressure because these guys have been in these situations before. We have a lot of players going for their second ring, players that have won championships throughout the year. It's more so the glory and just the situation of wanting to have pride winning it all. So that'll be, if the pressure sets in, it'll be because of that.
You don't think playing 100%. For 1.5 mil adds a little bit of pressure?
Yeah.
I think it adds. I think in
the beginning. I think in the beginning of the tournament,
you don't want to get knocked out and be the player that made that mistake and cost your team that kind of money. But like Ann said, they've also been in these high pressure situations before. But I don't want to cost my team that. I don't want to be stuck in that 1v1 at the end. But
I know. Well, do you know what, gents? I don't have a chance to win this prize pool, unfortunately. I would love a chance, but I don't. So I've got my eye on someone else. You may know, YouTube, it's burritos. I have my eye on those burritos. I want these drops so badly. I know you guys do it as well. I've seen the spams of Chipotle in the chat. But we do have another chance because every single day of the CDL playoffs, we did have our burrito drops. And of course, in champs, it is obviously the exact same. So we have a few rules. I'm going to read these for you right now. So burrito drops are enabled if a match today reaches 3-0 or a reverse sweep. A second rule: if a match today reaches around 11 in search. And our third rule, yes, we have three. There's three potential ways. If we see a 40 elimination game in any respawn, burritos.
3 ways? I'm getting a burrito
Come
today.
on.
100% we're getting burritos today.
100%. We need this to happen. We need this to happen. I have my eye on the barbacoa, rice, lettuce, sour cream, cheese. I'm gonna dream of that in a little bit. I'll just let that sink in.
Man. Gotta go chicken, right. Double chicken with the guac. Like that's the play. Hello, cat.
Okay, chicken nameless. I'm not going to judge you, man. I'm not going to judge you. But you know what? Talking about judging, we have something very, very special on the line. Of course, it is our MVP presented by Astro Gaming. Huge stuff coming across here. We'll be crowning a championship MVP presented by Astro Gaming. So stick around after our final match tomorrow to see who will be the lucky winner of this personal award. And then, of course, these incredible custom prizes. Got a Meister watch, custom Astro A40 TR headset, and of course, look at it, the MVP trophy, baby. Look at that. That is slick. That is a slick daddy trophy. That I love that. So big stuff coming into here, and yeah, so much on the line this weekend. As I'm having to say all of this to you guys, I just realized how important this weekend is. It's absolutely huge. So, talking about this weekend, gents, of course, we need to talk about our teams that are going to be in it to win it. So, first of all, we do have our heavy hitters. We've got Atlanta FaZe taking on Dallas Empire. And Pac, I want to talk to you about this one because, obviously, our flip side of things, it's going to be a very difficult matchup. We know it is Dallas, FaZe, big teams here. But two that stand out to me here on, of course, Atlanta FaZe is Simp and Celium. These two are just huge. They're a huge part of their team. The way that they perform is just incredible. Their stats speak for themselves. So why are these two so important to this Atlanta FaZe roster?
Well, Simp, since he burst on the team, a lot of young players have that stigma where it's like, oh, they're super fast and super aggressive and all that. But Simp has the best awareness that I think I've ever seen on someone who's so young into his career. He's always knowing what's going on the map. He's such a hard kill, probably the hardest kill in the entire scene. He's a playmaker at all times. And then you have Celium, incredible player in all the respawn modes. He's good with a sub, dominant with an AR. Both these guys are staples on a young team, and they're both fantastic at what they do. Elite players playing for an elite team. I mean, what more could you ask for from those two guys?
I don't know, man. I don't know that. Well, hey, win a champs. I think that's a big ask.
Simp already did that, though.
No, exactly. But, obviously on the other side of things, Lamus, I'm heading over to you. Dallas Empire filled with some big dogs and filled with legacy, of course, trying to make a new legacy. But we got Clayster and Shotzi. My kind of like question to you, Nameless, is whether or not Clayster and Crim can kind of coach Shotzi and Illy into this legendary position where they're able to actually get this champs win, because obviously they've done it before, but is Shotzi capable of doing this?
I think that they've been coached throughout the season, and then now they're finally entering their final form. These guys have won championships throughout the year. Shotzi is our regular season MVP, and what makes him special as a player is we learned very early on how elusive he was on the map. He had some of the best movement that we've ever seen in Call of Duty. He's a very difficult kill, and he's a nuisance, and on top of all of that, he has an incredible shot and game knowledge and minimap awareness. So he's almost one of those perfect SMG players that is going to do damage in any position you put him in on the map. And then for Clayster, in their one matchup they've had so far in playoffs, he was lighting it up with a 1.32 in hardpoint. And typically throughout the year, he's been their X factor. When he's on point in hardpoint, they look darn near unbeatable.
They do indeed. I'm really excited to see that matchup today. I think it's honestly going to be a showstopper. But talking about showstoppers, gents, and I'm sure, this is kind of bittersweet moment for you guys to remember too, but that Huntsman Optic Gaming final, I mean, that was huge. That round 11 1v1, it stuck with me in my dreams. I've been dreaming about it, thinking about it. And for you guys at home, if you did miss it, check out this very special moment.
That's a submachine gun player. That team was Seth last year, and now I'm Seth's duo. Where?
TJ. He was in bomb.
Let's go! And Huntsman win it! Envoy gets the kill in the 1v1!
You win the 1v1 versus Tej, the Iceman. I was too icy that day, and I came out on top.
They move on! It's madness!
The storyline of our team would be actually absurd.
A lot of these guys are chasing their second ring.
2 rings for 4 of us and 1 ring for Dill. Like, it would be crazy to think about.
Goal is to beat London, beat whoever else they put in front of us, 1 step at a time, 1 map at a time. That will be the motto going into this next weekend. We have that clutch factor. Under no circumstance can you count us out of a series.
Absolutely incredible moment there from Chicago and Optic Gaming, and it was kind of a surreal moment. I think it's a moment that everybody kind of hopes to happen. These intense things in matches are kind of, I think, what fans live for. I mean, obviously, Pac, what was going through your mind in that 1v1 situation? I mean, edge of your chair, sweating, shaking.
It was crazy. It all happened so fast, really. And what our envoy said was true. They have that clutch factor. That's what they have. They've been into all game 5s. That last round, they did get blooded in that round, and Scum stayed alive for so long. RCs picks up a huge 2-piece, and Envoy closes out the round to win the game. I mean, what can you ask for from a guy like that? It's this clutch factor that you cannot put your finger on. You can't quantify it. It's huge, and they have it. You cannot count them out of any series, and that's scary for all these teams going forward.
Well said.
Very, very, very well said, Pac. Hey, that's why you're the Optic Gaming coach, pal. I see why you got the job. Obviously, we do have, London on the flip side of things here of the bracket, going against Huntsman. And, the Cinderella story run that's happened with our Royal Ravens team has been pretty magical. A Disney story fairy tale for sure. But looking at kind of the matches that have occurred for London here, I mean, it's hard to say. Nameless, I'm going to head to you because, they haven't really gone up against any heavy hitters yet. Ultra have been fantastic. They've been on the rise, and New York and Paris, you could say, for all of them. But really, it's not really the same as going up against our top 4 on our Astro Social soundboard here. Of course, we've got Scraps talking to his twin brother. Let's go, Woo Man. Dreams to reality. What did I say? Love you, bro. You absolute tank. We want to see that from them, that passion, of course. But can they go all the way, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, they played 3 teams, that were on an upward trend towards the end of the season. You look at Legion, where they make their crazy run. You have New York, and you have Ultra, who both won a home series. So, they didn't just beat 3 easy teams. It was 3 solid squads that looked good going into champs. But the question is, the top 3 teams here left outside of London. London has not beat any of these guys. I believe they're 0-9 against them in the regular season, which is very scary if you are a London fan. But they've never lacked confidence. The players on that team believe that they can beat anyone. So that's all that truly matters when you're going up against these teams. If you're having Shawnee put up these big performances, if you're starting to win dominations, you have a good chance going into some of these series. So the confidence will get them through it. We'll see if they're able to use that confidence against Chicago.
We will see indeed some big things coming from our teams today. So, talking about big things, we have two big dogs waiting in the wings that are going to be casting this incredible game for you, of course. And I miss them. I miss them very much. So I'm very excited to introduce you to your two casters going into our first champs match. And that, of course, is Miles and Chance. Gents, hello, welcome to day one of champs. How are we feeling?
Lottie, we're feeling very, very good. I think mostly because somebody turned the air conditioning on down here in the US Air Force Command Center. But it's very cool to be down here. It's a little different. I mean, we're dressing everything up for Chance. You and I are dressed up. We're ready to rock and roll into what will be a truly historic weekend of Call of Duty. But we do have a fun one ahead of us again. London Royal Ravens against the Chicago Huntsmen. I mean, Nameless hit the nail on the head for me personally. It's a tough one, Chance. I mean, this is going to be a real uphill battle for London, but they're the underdogs, mate. I mean, they can get it done.
Yeah, the 0-9 record kind of stings, but I'll say, right, obviously Chicago's favored in the series. Obviously the Ravens are the underdogs, but not only have they been going on a tear, but as soon as I saw that map set, I was like, you know what, this is not bad. London can pull this off. The maps sort of work in their favor, even the domination that they have, while the record overall isn't great. The matchup kind of works out and sort of has that 50-50, right? That head-to-head, fairly comparable. Ravens the edge in the search and destroy, the edge in the hard point, and it's not like Huntsmen have been lights out in the domination, so I think we have ourselves a barn burner of a series on our hands.
It's going to be interesting. Again, if we have to go all the way to that Game 5 like the Huntsmen have done so far in every single matchup here in the competition, it's going to be a spicy one, that's for sure. But for me, again, the biggest overarching sort of, I think, the bane here for London is truly the fact that they have not defeated a single one of the top three teams here in this event once throughout the regular season. We have to see London play quite literally the very best Call of Duty they will have played all season long just to stand a chance here. So this first season at 0-9 will be very, very important for them, no doubt about it. And again, it's an elimination matchup. The winner advances into the top three. They will play the loser, of course, Dallas versus Atlanta up in the top of the winners bracket, but we're ready to rock and roll into this one. Chance, I cannot wait, my friend, to get into this series. Truly, mate. I mean, I don't even know where to start. We are going to throw to a break momentarily, but very, very excited to get into this one, brother. I mean, once we're ready to rock and roll, the show just will keep on rolling. When we come back after this very quick break, more Call of Duty action here. It is Championship Weekend. It's 2020, baby. We're ready to rock and roll. See you after the break.
This is dangerous. He's going to get caught, but they line up for Scuff. And Scuff, the king. Envoy is going off. Fratini gets the kill. They're going to keep on charging straight into Osities. Formal hits the shot. Chicago, come and dominate. He's too bloody strong. But at 0 doing damage. He's not stopping anytime soon. Again, Scraps has got his number. Beautiful read from Lookin. Raven putting them down. City's a trying clutch. He can't do it. Kelly going on a rampage inside the hill. He heard him. He gets it. He got it. He got it.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro. Watch the best at their best with unlimited data from Metro, all on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Metro, everything you need to rule your day.
Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The United States Air Force. Learn more at airforce.com.
Save money at the restaurants you love with Grubhub Perks. Use code CDLChamps at checkout to get free delivery.
It all starts right now.
Glory is just a heartbeat away. The time to put your stamp on this new era is now. So soak in every moment, because this is your call to be the best, to be the first, to prove once and for all the road to glory wasn't given, it's been earned.
Hello and welcome to the 2020 CDL Season Retrospective presented by Grubhub. I'll be your host, Clint Maven Evans, alongside Joe Merck DeLuca. It all started January 2020 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We had our 12 franchise teams. Now the stage is set, the seeds are set. It's time to talk playoffs. First, I'm going to kick it off talking about London. I don't think many people saw them getting into the top 4, but somehow the Ravens get it done. Another team we did not see coming, Optic Gaming, starting bottom 4 and then making a run.
They had a great run, but it gets shut down by the Huntsmen.
The other two teams we have in the top 4, the Atlanta FaZe and then the Empire as well. Dallas, never say die. Playoffs are in the books. It is now time for championship weekend. Joe, you fired up?
Maven, who doesn't love watching the best teams in the world compete for the most money we have ever seen? It is going to be legendary.
Oh, wonderful.
Use the code of the team you think will be the Call of Duty League champion for a chance to win a Grubhub perk. Now, we are gearing up for our first match of the day. It's Huntsmen versus Royal Ravens. Will the powerhouse continue their run, or is Cinderella going to the ball? We will be discussing all of this and more in just a moment, but before we do, let me welcome another addition to our desk here for day 1 of Champs, and that is, of course, Professor Astacio. And I say Professor Astacio because we're having our first ever study session with you, so I want to learn some things going into this match. Talk to me. What lesson is up first?
Okay, so the first lesson right off rip is the Chicago Huntsmen. This is a team who went all the way to Game 5 in every single one of their series throughout the entire playoffs. And it scares me because this is a team that had 70% win rate in Hardpoint and were the best Hardpoint team going into that event. Now, it's just all on individual players that need to step up, and I'm looking at the Twins especially, Pristini and Arcees. These guys were those X-Factor players for me throughout that entire playoffs, even though it went all the way down to a Game 5 and Arcees was able to pick up a 2-piece. Pristini had a .78 throughout the entire playoffs, and throughout the regular season, he had a .92, so he needs to step it up. But Arcees, he had a .91 compared to the regular season where he had a 1.08, and he even tweeted out at the end of the playoffs saying that he didn't have his best performance. So for them not to force all the way to Game 5 and basically every single series that they played, they need to be able to step it up for sure.
Now, Professor Astacio, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about London as well. I want to know a little bit about Shawnee and how he fits into the team, because of course, you know, he was the construction man last time we saw him. And what do these guys have to do to kind of seal the deal here?
Well, talking about Shawnee, this guy was a monster on the map last week during playoffs. Every time that he needed to go big for his roster, he did. You saw him in that big 1v1 clutch versus Attach to start off 7-0 on Ramaza S&D Game 5. And that's such a great upwards for him because he was at a player who was sitting at a .87 throughout the entire regular season. And at the end of the playoffs, he had a 1.01. And I'm not only going to give credit to him, I'm also going to give credit to Zero. This is a player who went from the subliners and switched to the London Royal Ravens. He had a .94 throughout the entire regular season, but his finessing in hardpoint is insane. He had a 1.07, and if he steps up for that roster, then they should be set in stone as well.
Well, thank you very much, Study. We've had our first study session at the School of CDL, of course, but next we have a bit of homework to do with Nameless because we have our game fuel keys to victory for Chicago Huntsman. Pal, talk us through it.
Well, thank you, Study. That was amazing and immaculate. We need to have that going forward. But for the keys to victory for the Chicago Huntsman, close it out before Game 5. They have the highest win percentage on Game 1 and 2 in the CDL, and they have the lowest win percentage in Game 5 of the 4 teams remaining at 37.5%. Now, they went to Game 5, right? And it's been very intense and very scary. It's made for some great moments, but you don't want to be in those moments if you are a player. You want to close it out before then, right? So take command on map 1 and try to close it out before it gets to 5. So go big and secure that domination because that's where London is not good. For London, Shawnee led the way with a 1.3 overall in their last match. He had the highest KD on the team by a whopping 0.25, leading them to an upset versus the Ultra. You're going to need Shawnee to come back out in a big way to help out the rest of the guys on this team. If he's performing, it's going to make it a lot easier. Focus on that Dom. They've only won 1 Dom in playoffs. They're 10-20 on the regular season. That's the worst Dom win percentage of the teams left in champs. That could be the key swing mode that gets them over the edge in these last few series.
Well, we are going to head really quickly to, of course, our predictions brought to you by Sony's Xperia smartphone. So, Study, I'm going with you first, pal. Where are we going for this?
I'm going Chicago 3-2. You know, I feel like this is going to go all the way down to the wire. The Huntsmen are, London are really bad when it comes to that domination game mode. But who knows? They were able to pull off a couple in that playoffs. I expect the Huntsmen to be in full form in this championship weekend, and hopefully they'll be able to close it out.
Okay, Nameless, what about you, friend?
I'm sorry, Lottie. I'm so sorry, but I'm going 3-0 Chicago. That highest Game 1 and 2 win percentage is huge for me. They were the best hardpoint team throughout the season, and they're going up against one of the worst domination teams in the entire season. I think they have a big opportunity here to go big early on and close it out in 3. I think they do it.
Hey, look, it hurts. It cuts deep, but I forgive you. I understand. Look, both of these teams are absolutely incredible. You can't take it away from Huntsman, but I have to go with my heart, and that, of course, is with the London Royal Ravens. I'm going to say 3-2 because their domination is just looking very, very shaky. I'm just going to say that. But, you know, hey, I believe in them. So I'm heading over right now to your 2 casters who are going to be doing the most through this game. It's our match 1 of champs. I'm so excited to get into this one. So Chance and Miles, take it away, fellas.
Lottie, thank you very, very much. It is now time to roll across the ground floor of the bunker and get us on screen. I wonder if that works. If I shout on screen, it happens just at the right time. I may never know Chance. But, mate, you know what I was thinking? I was like, I'm glad they put us landscape, but between my hair and beard and the fact that you're such a tall and powerful man, they might have had to put us portrait. But, mate, let's get into this one. This is truly going to be an absolute banger to start off the day here. Again, the championships have always been exciting. COD Champs has been a long-running staple here in the esports world, and now with a slightly different look, we're ready to rock and roll into this one. And, mate, this is going to be a big one. I mean, have you got any gut feelings going into this one just before we get started?
Bro, I'm telling you, my gut feeling was like Chicago's gonna take it early on. I saw the map set and I was like, dude, I don't know anymore. It's tough to call. Like, we got Ramaz back-to-back twice in a row. We know how good construction man Shawnee can be. And it really is one of those things, like, I tried to get my Doctor Strange on, tried to see every single possible outcome, and I could see it all. I could very well see this going to a 3-0 towards the Ravens because the maps are actually pretty good for them. Even the domination, which we have been ragging on the Ravens for so long about, they've played Chicago on Gunrunner Dom once before. It was a 1-point game. It's like, it's champs, stats go out the window, nothing matters anymore except for who clutches up on the day. And I think the Ravens, at least the balls in their court, could force this to a great series.
A great series ahead of us, no doubt, as we now get into game number 1, our first match here at the CDL Champs weekend. And it is sure to be a good one. London Royal Ravens there will be in the dark blue. On the other side of the board, Chicago Huntsmen in the green. Let's get into this one, Chance. Straight in the Ramaz we go. We'll do the team intros a little bit later because we just wanted to get into the matchup. We wanted to get this ball rolling. And as you can see, straight off, for the races. Arcides finds the kill, finds 2 there. And with those few now, we're going to see London actually manage to get on that point for the first few seconds there.
Not a bad opening break at all. Chicago, though, you can see pouring in a ton of pressure over towards construction and trying to flip those spawns as early as possible. That's why Dylan, while he's inside the point, is wrapping back and frankly, just trying to hunt these players down. It's only Scump that's left over or towards construction side. And of course, all this time in the hill still has been going the way of the Ravens. The best start they could have asked for.
First to 250 points here on hardpoint. This one will be moving in 25 seconds, and as you can see, lower left-hand side of the minimap, number 5 is going to be Pristini already, playing for the next spawns. On the other side of the board for London, it's going to be Dylan at number 8, making his way through the bottom side of the map. So Pristini now tries to contest up forward. Again, a little bit of time to be had here. The remaining 10 could go the way of the Ravens, but you have to look towards that second hardpoint chance. Lower left-hand side, it appears to be all Chicago.
Yeah, shout out to Pristini. He was the man that's able to flip the spawns. While all the spawns are being flipped, Dylan somehow gets in the back. He does end up getting killed with a little bit of help from Formal in the back, but either way, all the great work Chicago did to get those spawns. London has already retaken that pressure on the backside, and that's where guys like Scraps are trying to work from. Envoy, though, front, you need to make sure you pour the pressure on, and right now Envoy in prime position, just waiting for these players to walk in his line.
Yeah, it's a front door barge. That's where the battle's going to be taking place. Trades go either side. Shawnee finds 5 in a row. In from behind comes Arcides from the back room. Great crossfire there from the Huntsman. They will clean up the remaining 3, and with those kills, straight off the break, they're going to be a foot race now towards the next hardpoint. And we've got a bit of a head start on them, but now we're seeing Arcides on your screen, charging in towards the barbershop hardpoint. Envoy trying to clear out the middle side and the top side of the map. He's got eyes on the flank just in case. Formal wins a big 1v1 against Shawnee, the construction man himself. 10 seconds to go chance. And we've still got a battle raging for this next hardpoint.
Already, though, massive win, I'd say, for Chicago, just to get those players in the back, but obviously the gunfight's ever so important. Arcides trying to stay alive, had a little bit of help from the smokes, and he's able to stabilize and keep that back pressure, but never mind, Ravens get the back spawn just like that, so all the work from Chicago gets eviscerated. Now Chicago's forced to try to flood from the front, and talk about a big moment, the spawns coming in for the Ravens, trying to bump up that lead just a little bit more.
Ravens, though, spawning in towards construction site, towards that top left, you see number 7 on that mini-map, so they've got a bit of a journey to make their way across now and into the jaws of this hard point. Shawnee goes down, and it's a kill from Pristini from behind. Again, now we are seeing the Huntsman spawning that right-hand side of the map. Waskins with AM4 now, bringing shots down range. Shawnee finds 2 with an nade in the backside, and there's a lot of kills going the way. The spawns have now got a bit squirrely, and look at that! The Huntsman have just spawned across the south side of the map, from corner to corner, from coast to coast. What's this going to do for the next hardpoint? It all comes down to Shawnee. Can he defend construction alone?
Oh, he gets taken down very, very quickly because, again, already the spawn system we've had, one of the more chaotic maps off the rip of just the constant spawning out right behind the other team. But, hey, it's Modern Warfare. We would not have it any other way. But good news for Chicago, they get that rotation, and more importantly, they have Arcides with the hot hand, 13 kills already to his name. And by the way, in this head-to-head matchup, these teams have played each other 3 times. Arcides leading the pack with a 1.33 KD in the head-to-head.
We go to another hard point. Cassini cut down from the front. Formal now trying to make his way through the top side. Kills come through, and it's going to be 0 from upstairs. Now Scump, he's trying to lead the charge through the front. Arcides with the opening kill, does find 1. Here comes Scump, and the old bait and switch. Shots down onto Shawnee. The kill comes through. Huntsman keeping this push alive. Wasker the EM4. He catches the crossfire, and it's going to be 0 who picks up the 2 there. So London Royal Ravens, they keep a hold of construction. Scraps with another big win. The kill's now starting to work out for the Ravens. 11 and 8 overall for 0. That's 4 in a row. 11 and 9 for Waskins, but still, it's going to be Arcides leading the charge there for Huntsman. That 15 kills chance, keeping the boys alive.
And Chicago right now, they need a stable hold on this hill. But you can already see the pinch effectively working in, right? You got 0 towards the middle of the map, who does get cut down, but players might fill into exactly where he was. And you also have players all the way in the back. That's going to be trying to stay alive and just try to force out these spawns. And he's got the teamwork. So right now, London, they have cleared out the back. Now you go for that contest time and try to chip away at this time that Chicago's attempting to start to rack up.
So here on Ruins, you can see the Huntsman finding those kills left, right, and center. Comes the push now from Scum. Nades out, trying to slow those players down from the back. But the plan for Ravens right now is not only just trying to contest and pick up as much time as to take back map control. Now they're spawning out. They've spawned to the left. To take top construction. There will be a battle now as Envoy eyes on player number 1. He didn't catch the second player, but the second player caught him. Kills go down. Ravens with map control and with the remaining 15.
That is a very very nice trades to come in just to get that construction long down. This is all about setting yourself up long term. For the Ravens right now, 40-point lead, not a terrible spot, and they at least have that early pressure towards this hill as well. We saw the setup right off the rip. You get Shawnee in construction, you get Dylan inside the point, but you see the gunfight going down. Shawnee can't quite find the kill. Gonna drop him, and Dylan still alive. The 5-man wipe is a success, and you even have a player like Zero. He's pushed out so far mid-map. He can be the cutoff man and make Dylan's job in the hill that much easier.
Dylan doing what he can to stay alive with finesse. Now falls to construction man himself. Shawnee wins a big one. 12 and 11 overall. Hardpoint time still ticking the way of the London Royal Ravens. Christini's up next. The shots and the nades coming through, just trying to apply some form of pressure to that top power position. Shawnee finally goes down onto Dylan now and the rest of the squad. In that PIP, you can see the rotation's already gone down, and it's Arctic, the kill leader now for the Huntsman, now taking control of the spawns. The man simply does it all.
Yeah, this is deja vu all over again. This is exactly what happened the first time around where, hey, it's the P1. Ravens get a nice little jump, but someone for Chicago able to sneak through and flip those spawns. And frankly, Chicago, they're going to need a very strong hold on this hill. This time, all the brat in the world is cleared out. They don't have to worry about any sneakiness, but the gunfights from the front are... He's able to pick up a couple more inside this hill, and for the moment, Chicago nice and stable, but at the same time, down by 50 points, they have a long road ahead.
Good hard point for Chicago, though. Trying to hold this one down. Nasties once again finds kill number 20. MP5 in hands, a couple of Ravens there just laying prone out on the outside of the hard point. No one's quite able to make the play here. Waskin's now trying to find something, possibly bait a teammate, wait for the reinforcements to show up, and here come the Ravens, and Envoy! He gets all 4 in the kill feed! Envoy kills almost the entire team! Unbelievable stuff! This was a good hard point for the Huntsman, and it's still a great one. Now the rotations are already gone down, and it's going to be Scump, the lone man, in the backside now of Barbershop. He finds one, he gets the second as well. 5 kills in a row for Scump, and a very strong look for the Huntsman going into Barbershop.
Scump right now having the tournament of his life for the moment. He's able to pick up even another one before he gets cut down. And yes, those back spawns do not go away to Chicago. I was thinking Scump might have bought his team just enough time, but no, Ravens able to stay alive, trying to bounce back and potentially get that full 60 of their own. And if that happens, that might be a GG. The pressure on Chicago, they need to get inside this hill. They're trying to get players in the back to stay alive. No success really on any front. They need to find a way just to make that break.
Trying to get the break. See London now spawning out on the right-hand side. They will be trapped if the Huntsman can now just reposition and prevent them from escaping this Barbershop. They may have the next 30 seconds, but they will lose map control, and they will lose control of the next hardpoint. Nasty's trying to just poke through that front door. No reservation required. You do have to get your haircut outside these days, thanks to COVID. I can assure you, it's pretty dangerous, but nowhere near as dangerous as these players are. 20 and 18 overall for Envoy. They're heroics, keeping his team in this one, and you can see already Arcites making his way out across map. Huntsman, they have trapped the Ravens here in Barbershop.
And they had enough big kills to get that pressure in the point where you're going to a construction, you're only down by 30. Not a terrible spot to be in at all. Of course, though, you can actually see Chicago. They might have thought someone slipped through because they actually played this pretty passive. They gave up a ton of power positions on the rotation, but at the very least, that rotation is secure. Now it's all about that hold, and you can see the Ravens, a couple players trying to flood up mid, and a bunch pushing down underneath this P1. Alika Pop is able to drop the first before he gets traded, and Ravens, they make that first push, they get the clearance. Now it's about the actual break inside the hard.
On the formal, finds 2 kills, tags up the third, but not able to get it. Onto Envoy now we go. Find Shawnee. Can't quite find the kill on a Waskin, but still, the presence is being felt here. 25 seconds remaining on this hard point now for the Huntsman, and Scraps wins a big one. That's going to be number 3 in a row. 20 seconds remaining here. Not enough to get the win, but going to put the Ravens within spitting distance of map number 1. And they're already now battling for ruins. It's going to be Shawnee on the other side of the map now, trying to contest, trying to contend. Smokes come through. This is for the hard point flip, and potentially for the map. The stick comes through. Shawnee stays alive for the time being, but is it enough to get his teammates in there? The Huntsman now swarming chance over the next hardpoint.
And they got that full setup. They got everywhere spread. They got the front pushed out. A couple players over towards Barbershop as well. And that's exactly where the Ravens are going to be coming from. Pristini able to find that first. I think he might be able to clear the player outside for the next one. But Shawnee's going to take him down with the M4. And the back is now open for the Ravens to at least make sure that they can get this contest time and force the new hill, if not just outright win it here.
Try and get it done. The angles are now available for them, but will the Ravens be able to make something of it? Envoy on your screen. MP5 in hand. Shots go through. Pristini leading the charge. He finds 2 kills on the point, and it's over to Scump now. Again, frantically fighting for their lives. It's going to be Zero with the knife, trying to just buy some space. No more kills for Zero. Envoy gets it done. The contest is still on. You have to start looking towards the next hard point. London now on the time. They've got to get a little bit more out of this one, but Huntsman already in towards the next chance. It is going to go down to the wire. The next hard point could well and truly be the end, and look who's in control. It's Huntsman, Formal atop the perch. Envoy and Pristini now swarming for control. This could be it. Ravens got to make a clean break, and the map could be theirs.
Ravens just need 7 seconds. They need 1 break, and Zero with those 2 kills might have the opening. Players up top of the M4, but the cross is not covered, and Zero able to get through, contest inside the hill. But again, Ravens, their job to stay alive, pick up these kills. The pressure is not on them. Chicago, they have to get the perfect wipe, or the game is going to fall.
Dylan finds 2 kills, scraps with a teammate. Contest is still on. Right now, London have managed to get a player off, and you can see from the overhead, it's going to come to Zero once again. 4 in a row before going down. It is so close. Huntsmen have to contest. They've got to get on the point. The Ravens have managed to make it clean, and with that, a few more seconds, the Ravens could call map number 1 theirs. 224 to 250. Ravens take map 1.
In the start that they needed, dear Lord, Miles. Everyone is expecting Chicago to win this series, and you even heard Nameless talk about it. The map 1 and map 2 win percentage, Chicago is the best in the league at getting off to those hot starts. The fact that you come out on Ramada map 1 and take the Huntsman down, that is a massive just relief. You feel the stress just oozing away in the plays that London was able to make across the board. Honestly, probably the biggest one in my mind was the 3-piece that Scraps picked up over towards construction. He did not have the best start to the game. That's where he started to turn things around, and frankly, he bought his team about 15-20 seconds for that scrap, going completely massive on that hill. With a 26-point game, I mean, there's any number of different things you can look at that you would want to go different if you're a Chicago fan, or that the London Royal Ravens did incredibly well. But either way, they got that ball rolling, and I'm telling you, Miles, I saw the map set, and I knew we're going to have a series on our hands.
We've got a damn fine series on our hands with 1 map down, but for those of you who have just joined us, to give you a little teaser on the teams who are now playing in this one, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Chicago Huntsmen. The Chicago Huntsmen, some of the most famous Call of Duty players on the planet. Formal, Arctics, Envoy, Scump, Pristini, whether you're a fan of T2P, whether you're a fan of the Sanderson twins, whether you're a fan of Envoy, there's something here for absolutely everyone, and they have had a crazy year so far in champs and playoffs. Has been incredibly close. The series far from over for them, but their opponents now, hailing from across the pond, it's the London Royal Ravens. The London Royal Ravens looking to take a tremendous upset here in the Call of Duty Championship. Scrap, Zero, Dylan, Shawnee, and Bluskin. And again, we know we're 1 map down so far in the series. Search and Destroy is coming up next. But we've got to do our housekeeping, friends. We've got to make sure that all these pieces get out there. And Chance, this it's an unprecedented start. I must admit, mate, we all saw the Huntsmen, one of the more refined respawn teams in the league. We saw them taking that map 1, but the Ravens played spoil there.
And that is the type of spoiler that just makes things extra spicy, because really the only map in this entire series that you say is actually favored for the Ravens, it's that map 2 on Armaza. We are very well potentially going to see a 2-0 up lead for the Ravens.
Indeed. Well, now we get to the most important part of the day, and maybe the last time we get to do this one together, my friend. It is, of course, time for our Grubhub picks of the day. I went with Shawnee, the construction man, and I wasn't too disappointed. Should have gone with 0 from that last one, mate. But Scum, not a bad choice, my friend. Lando went with RCTs, but the king himself, Chance. No reason why not to pick him.
I mean, again, the event effectively for playoffs that he had this past weekend was incredible. Led his team in terms of KD. His search and destroy, by the way, the entire year, but especially last weekend, was completely on point. And obviously, if you don't win that map 1, Scump is the guy I'm looking at on Armaza to try to help his team out and turn things around, because we've seen on Armaza quite a few times. Not the best team on that map, 2 and 5 overall, but obviously round 11s against teams like FaZe, they just need that little something extra.
Just a little something extra is definitely what Scump will be giving you. But now we talk about our food chance. This is it, mate. I think this is the last one. I don't know what order we're doing this in, but mate, it's been a wild ride. Oh, and I'm big balling. I'm big balling for champs, mate. I've got my smoking jacket on. I've got myself a cigar, and I'm enjoying myself a delicious chicken sandwich from Main Chick Hot Chick here in Los Angeles. But bro, you also went with chicken, I understand.
I did go with chicken, had a nice little meal for myself, and look how good that food is. Professional level quality. And I'll say, Miles, nothing is better when you're trying to talk Call of Duty and figure everything out by champs. Pull out the old paddleboard. Just go relax. Think about these teams. Think about all those Ramaza search and destroy plays in your head, and just kick back and relax. One of the best meals I've ever had.
Like the mason jar full of like the cola and everything. Mate,
it's delicious.
I bowed down. That was quite the finish. I didn't realize it was a video. I'll get you next year. Well done, though, to everyone again involved. And again, Chance, it's been an absolute treat getting you here doing our Grubhub picks of the day. But again, do what you can, friends, to get back to local businesses during this very trying time. Grubhub, from the times of 5 until 9 in your time zone. We're giving orders $30 or more, $10 off. Go to the perks section of the app. I think we're almost ready to rock and roll into the game, my friend. Champs has already been a delight. I hope you're enjoying the show from down here. We're underneath Stadium. We're in Verdansk, coming at you live from the US Air Force Command Center. And someone definitely turned the AC on in here because it's nice and chilly.
Nice and chilly, but the gameplay, Miles, is on fire, as hot as it can be. And that's a little bit too easy of a setup, but again, this Ramaza S&D, London Royal Ravens, 3-1 on this map, which is a great record, but I will say it's also their least played S&D map in the game. They've been saving potentially a little something extra for champs, and of course now for the side of Chicago Huntsmen, their S&D has been their saving grace. Make no mistake, even in playoffs, they have that 4-2 record so far, and all the game 5s that this team has been going to, the S&D is of ever importance. But this bounce back is not going to be easy in the slightest, of course, with the lack of information, even for the side of Chicago, that they're going to have on the Ravens team. It's going to be a tough one to bounce back from. And we're getting it started with Ravens on offense.
You have to think, a team like Huntsman, for how there's only so many times a trick's going to work on them. A lot of experience on that squad, and a great set of GMs and coaches, everyone, you name it, everyone across the board there in the Huntsman organization doing what they can to make sure the squad is as well oiled and prepared as they possibly can be. Envoy shots into the smoke, finds the first. Scraps can't quite get it as well as the kills come through, and now we've got a little bit of presence here on that B site for the Ravens. The gun shop starts to explode. Scraps shuts the door. Good manners there. Shawnee's trying to clear out the top side. It's going to be on Arsties. Not too many players there have made the rotation across map, and it's Zero who gets the party started down low. He and Scraps in a two-man push. Scump now. Managed to find one kill in the opening rip. He knows there are 2 players, the minimum below him in this 3 versus 3 situation. Chance with 35 left on the clock. What a dance this has been.
That dance is on Scump, right? As long as he's alive, this is going to be super difficult for the Ravens to get that bomb down. And, of course, time is ticking. Scraps thinking about making his way up top. The dead silence is there. The play is open. Needs to find the gunfight. Takes down Scump and Pristini. Not quite fair for the trays, but still 17 seconds left. And you know Formal's up top, ready to take these players down as soon as they make a move towards bomb. Pristini able to find the second, and Wuskins, we see him in the situation. There is not a lot of time on the clock. He's got to fly, and he's trying to hunt down this kill. But, of course, Pristini, he's just going to hide in a corner. And Wuskins, he's got to fly. 1 second left to find it, and not enough time. Chicago Huntsmen get that first round on the board and had just enough in their back pocket to have that saving grace to get those kills and the players on bomb.
Oh, wow. I did not realize the final kill cam there. Pristini was gifted the kill onto Zero as he flew out the window. Again, the perks of dead silence. Great defensive round there from the Huntsman to get this one started, Chance, and at any moment that could have gone either way. Heads up play from Formal coming in late. He managed to hold his ground on the outside, making sure that no one got in towards the A site, just in case there was a, a bit of a sleight of hand play there, but wonderful stuff from the Huntsman. Now on offense. Bomb there in the hands of Pristini. Bit of early information gained there from Arstes with that stun grenade. Knows there is at least one defender here. Formal from up top. Again, all the tricks come out here at Champs. We've seen this one a few times throughout playoffs. And now it's going to be footsies for both of these teams under the table. The kills now start to go through. The Dylans drop out early on, Chance, with a minute remaining now on the clock. Huntsman with a very strong amount of control over the B side.
I will say, though, there is still zero either up top. Well, up top, and Arcides knows he's there. Maybe pressure him out the back and try to get the bomb down or make sure the nade's on point. The twins with the chemistry. Shawnee, though, is able to trade out and take down Formal, who is responsible for the flank. And now that flank is wide open. And Scump and Pristini, they got to figure something out, and they got to do it fast.
It's a 3v2. They're both trapped in this building top of B. And you can see right now, 30 seconds on it. All you have to do is make sure the bomb carrier doesn't get anything down. Scraps is now watching the flank to see if anyone's going to go for A. And that's going to be an open lane that Pristini may take it. If he checks his corners, this could be huge. But there's Scraps. A big win. Great shots there from the Marshal. Finds the kill. And now it's all down to Scum. 1 versus 3. 10 seconds remaining. He can get all 3 kills. Or he can plant the bomb. Potentially neither. That's going to be it. Another round now done and dusted. Another one to the clock. But the Ravens, they now level it up.
And I will say that is a Ravens towards the end, right? As soon as you take down the 2 players, one in tunnel, Formal is over on the top plat area. You take down those players on the flank, and you just say, hey, it's a 3v2. Chicago, the ball's in your court, and Wuskin's the spot he has up top. He's never going to peek. He's never going to waste his life. If that bomb gets planted, then he goes for the instant challenge to take him down. And, of course, Chicago knew this. They try to go for the rotation, but the passive setup was perfect from the London Royal Ravens.
It's evident that both squads extremely well prepared coming into this match, giving them that week to get things all sorted after playoffs. I think it was a bit of a bonus for both. Still on your screen, the bomb carrier now for the Ravens. Makes a bit of noise down low, trying to just bait some action there, but you can see the defense now from Huntsman. They're at A, 3 in towards B, but they're very deep. They're giving up site control so they can get a shot on that open bomb carrier. Pristini, through the foliage, he finds one. Nice adaptation there, making things a little more difficult for London. 45 on the clock.
And you saw Ravens immediately. As soon as that shot comes through, they just start that immediate rotation over towards A. And Formal, by the way, has been on point over towards construction all year long. Dylan now on the approach. But Pristini, it's the second shot on the cross. Envoy takes down the player on the bomb. And just like that, 2v3. Shawnee might be able to get that bomb down.
He doesn't. He actually finds the shots there. He's waiting for the squad to roll up and help out. Shawnee, though! A bold, daring engagement, charges forward, finds the kill. Is this enough time to get the bomb down, though? Teammate's got to get there to help out. Formal's going to win the fight from upstairs. Bomb may go down. It's going to be Shawnee versus Formal on the stairs. Can Shawnee retain his crown in construction? No. Arstes comes in, makes it tough, and the defuse is going to be there. Around the... Shawnee trying to make difficult, but the Huntsman in the 3v1 situation chance should have all been theirs.
And I will say, shout out to Pristini with this sniper. This is probably the least sniped upon map that we have, at least this year. And it is very specific situations where you can pull it out. And obviously, the first one is nice. It's a common spot through the vines. But to be able to spot and hit the shot on the second player on the cross, those are the types of shots that basically just solidify the round. You go up 5v3 in man advantage. It is difficult to lose after that, especially with how clutch Chicago has been in search. Of course, now back on the attack. Might need to figure out something a little bit different, as defense has been thriving early on Armazo.
Looks like an aggressive one now from the Huntsman. Chicago makes their way right across the top side of the map. Me and Shawnee, this lone defender here. Zero's down low. Formal's going to be cut up. That piece of plywood's not going to help too much from those 4 bullets. A great nade from Shawnee there onto Pristini. Cleans out the Magic Genie Pristini from top rugs. And now it comes to Shawnee once again, slowing this one down. Bomb has yet to be retrieved, as the Huntsmen now have to think about how they want to make this push work out. Kill from Scump would be huge, just opens up a bit of a laneway in towards B chance, but they're playing this very slow. 45 on the clock.
All these players are loud, by the way. Not a single dead silence pop. So as soon as they get near this bottom area, Dylan, who I think is up top right now, actually down low, is going to be able to hear him. And you can see through the wall, he's turning, ready for the gunfights, and drops 2 just like that. 5v2 advantage. Well, make it 5v1 and Scraps is going to fall, but massive round right now for the Ravens. Pretty much to get that convincing win.
20 seconds remain. Formal wins a big one. 3v2. That's going to be the dagger, surely. Dylan's kill there, and the final shots at the top of Cafe go through. London tied up 2-2.
And these defensive first bloods have just been devastating to both teams, right? Like, as soon as Pristini gets made it up top from Shawnee, it basically stops them in their tracks. And then again, it was just systematic. They start that wrap back. Dylan can hear it coming from a mile away. And one of the easier double kills he is going to be able to pick up. And really, just some team needs to find a way to break out and just get towards one of these sites without everyone falling along the way. Maybe the best push we've seen has actually been the Ravens when they get the smokes out over towards B. But even when they have success, it's still been difficult to get these round conversions. By the way, sniper shot ringing out. Ravens have to be aware.
Very aware, but it's a good read now from Huntsman. Formal with a nice nade there. I think it might have been tied in with a nade that came through there from Envoy. A nice bit of 2-work there. Takes care of EOD. Perk that allows you to survive a single frag grenade. Now Formal backs up. London, though, with an immediate transition towards the B-bomb site. And again, could be loud, could be a little dangerous. There's plenty of Huntsman players in position there, and it's going to be Dylan leading the charge with a bomb. He's got Waskin to back him up. But the defense there from Chicago, the trap is set. The Huntsman, they could just spring this one, but no, London, the heckles are up. The Spidey senses tingle chance. They're going back over towards A.
Yeah, but Formal just ready and willing. Easy kills for him. And now he can call out to his teammates, hey, pressure's coming over towards this A site. I just need a little bit of help. We'll be good to go. Scraps, though, able to get the trade. Ravens might have a bit of an entry push onto this site.
Just Pristini up top. And again, that sniper has yet to really come into play, but the pistol sure has. Envoy now takes the top of it. Dylan, he wins the second against Waskin there. Beautiful stuff. Envoy gives us the round, and Huntsman take the lead.
And again, it's the exact same story the entire game, really. It has just been devastating for these teams on offense. If they don't get clearance at all and they just keep getting first blooded, it's almost a tragedy. There's not really too much you can do because it's not even a map. You have to be super worried about rotations, especially if you have that man advantage. So Formal, he gets to post up all day long. Nice easy kills, and again, it comes back to the question, who's going to be the team that finds a breakaway round, potentially getting one on offense? That'll be the game changer so far under Mazza.
No one quite able to break out of this one. Oh, but Scum with the first blood on offense. How will Huntsman capitalize? Number 8's already on a big wrap. Dylan, dead silence. Oh, Dylan, he may have just hit the buffet table, but he's going to live to fight another day as Envoy now. The other Dylan battles his way down towards bottom of the site. Waskin with a nice nade, and London have just turned this round around. Battle the Dylans. Envoy wins for now. Keeps his dead silence alive as well, so buys his team a slight bit of breathing space. With a dud nade, but that's fine. Dead silence still out and about. Envoy could possibly make the play, but it's Waskin's going to be trailing the window. Here we go, chance. Brilliant shots from Envoy. Wonderful kill there to take care of Waskin, make it a 3 versus 2. Huntsman now with the advantage.
Taps down low. The man that needs to make the play. The attack is here with the dead silence pop. Envoy up top to hit fire. Not enough for one. Plenty for Scraps. And 25 seconds left. This bomb's still not down in Chicago. They're going to rotate. They're going to hightail this over to A. And Ravens, it might take them a few seconds to figure it out. Shawnee, the awareness is just kicked in, but frankly, should be bombed down for free. And you see Ravens trying to set up that pinch.
This is 2v2. This is to break the offensive curse for Huntsman. Shawnee creeps his way and Scraps. The tags are there. There's the first from Shawnee. He baits out. Now it's all on Oasities. Can he take both of the Ravens at once? He cannot get it done. Scraps comes through. The Ravens play it brilliantly, Chance, and it is another defensive round for the Ravens.
And just great decision-making from Scraps as well, right? Like, you think that's just a beautiful round for Chicago. You got Envoy up top that he's able to get the clearance kill. You get the man advantage. And to a certain extent, you do have a fair bit of site control as well. Scraps knows this, pops the dead silence, goes and hunts Envoy down, gets that shop control back in your favor, and now that B site control does not exist for Chicago. And yes, they made a nice call to go for that rotation, but you saw the teamwork towards the end. Scraps and Shawnee making sure that they pinch in on construction at the exact same time. And again, 6 rounds, defense has won in a row. Some team just looking for that clearance, looking for that offensive break.
The story. Can London find the first offensive round win? Waskin very narrowly missing with the HDR there again. We've seen the AX-50 time and time again. Envoy's going to get first blood there onto Shawnee. Is the trade going to be there? A brilliant shot into the back of Dylan there as Envoy finds himself 2. That's 8 overall. Kill number 3 in the round? No, not quite. The nades come through in chance. We've got a few Ravens here on the point. The remaining 3 now going against the 5 Huntsmen. Can they get this bomb down at B?
Waskin's just trying to find any kill he can get, but Chicago not really giving him anything to work with. Scump, he's not peeking the window anytime soon. RCDs might do a few spot checks, but frankly, the onus right now is on the Ravens to get this bomb down. There is no rotation coming in, and even though Zero potentially could think about a flank, Formal still posted up in construction. Maybe a bit of a bait coming in as one player from Chicago wraps out, and the timing couldn't be any better. Scraps made his move at the right moment.
Shot is shot. And there it is. Bomb goes down. Envoy now versus Zero. Envoy wins it. 2 members of the Ravens left. Envoy with a great round. 3 kills all in all. Arstes finds the other. And now for the final push. It comes down to Waskin. And he's down and out. 30 seconds for the defuse. And there we go. Chance. It's another defensive round. But the Huntsmen get it done.
Another defensive round. The one thing I will say, I think Chicago has been putting themselves in better spots on offense, right? We've had quite a few rounds for Ravens throughout the course of the entire year, but even a little bit so far in just this map as well, where they just waste a lot of time. Just hang out waiting for some sort of opening that just never comes. And all of the Ravens rounds on offense, they're already at the point where they're down to 15 seconds on the clock when they're going for these plants. Chicago a bit more aggressive, and I'd say a bit more opportunities. But again, not by a ton, because these defensive rounds have been on point. That extra week of preparation for these teams we are seeing on clear display. Even the nades and the coordination that we have seen, everything has been close to perfect.
Speaking of perfect, that's a big round. Open kill from Pristini. Finds the first without sniping the man. His snipe has just been on point so far. Shawnee now on that defense. This could be the offensive round the Huntsmen need. They're stacking up towards Rugs. Shawnee with the intel. Cheeky nade. A very cheeky nade as Pristini goes down. Blow for blow we go. Envoy now with the bomb moving forward. Zero from below. Finds the first kill. And now it's going to be back and forth we go. Chance Envoy now with dead silence. Hunting down Zero. There he is. Who will fall next from the Huntsman? As both members of the Ravens now activate dead silence and making their way across map, but they are caught between a rock and a hard place. Is it going to be an A push or a B push? It's towards B. The Huntsman may have won the mind games.
Dylan maybe just a little bit late for this wrap back. It depends on when they try to get this bomb down. It is up to Dylan right now to try to make a play. He gets the clearance to get up top, and the timing might be perfect. The smoke out for protection, and he can't find the kill. The EOD does enough. Bomb gets planted by Envoy, and Chicago had a 3v. Well, now 2v2.
Dylan with a very, very clutch kill. Scraps now trying to find something forward just the outside of the window. Scump takes care of Dylan. Now it's a 2 versus 1. It's Scraps versus T2P. Check every possible angle, every corner. If he jumps out this window, he's in trouble. That's going to be it. The Huntsmen get the round. Map point, Chicago.
In the first offensive one that we are able to get, again, Chicago has been better early on of just making those plays and buying themselves a ton of time so they can afford to wrap all the way from the A site to get that bomb planted B. The first blood, by the way, from Bersini, absolutely key. Opens up a lot of pressure. You can start getting that flood, and even though the odds get evened out, eventually they had that man advantage with the dead silence plays coming in from Envoy, and Dylan gets forced to give up the B site. The timing from Chicago, absolutely perfect. 1 round away from tying the series up.
Here we go. Ravens on offense. Yet to be able to break the seal in the same way the Huntsmen were. As the doors go bursting open, the defenders now should have some degree of an inkling that the play is in towards A. Dylan slides on the point. It's going to be Envoy on the stairs, though. Envoy on the stairs finds the first blood. Envoy on the stairs with the help from Formal. And it is a great defensive hold from the Chicago Huntsmen. 2 players down. The bomb down on the site. This could well be the map.
Will be the map, and just a beautiful job staying alive. Envoy right now putting on a masterclass. Arcides, though, is going to get picked, but the twin is there for the trade. The sniper's still on point from Pristini. You got a 4 versus 2 in favor of the Huntsman. Up to Shawnee and Waskins to try to make that play, and Shawnee right now making his move on the flank. Might actually have a free kill for him right in front.
There it is. The shots are there. Pristini finally goes down. Shawnee gets out with his life. Waskin's now moving in to reinforce. Envoy once again on that stairwell position. He's done so much damage from there so far. And now it's getting naughty. 20 seconds now for the win. A big shot from Waskin to get the kill. Scump moving forward. 15 seconds in this 2 versus 2. The bomb has to be planted, or the 2 members of the Huntsmen have to be killed in order for the Ravens to survive. And here we go. Formal from up top. Scump breaks right through the bottom door. Finds Shawnee. The shots are there from Waskin. The trade come through. Waskin versus Formal. 1 versus 1. And Waskin wins it! Oh my word, Chance. Oh my word.
The 2 versus 4 ain't nothing but a thing for those players. Shawnee gets the perfect plank. And frankly, just a weird setup, I'd say, from Chicago, honestly. As clean as they've been all game, they knew they had bomb down, and Scump just refused to rotate from the B site, kind of left out a portion of the map. He never even tried to get the mid control, and maybe that small opening for all of those 1v1 gunfights that the Ravens had to win. But hey, they won them all. Waskin was able to pick up 2. They get the bomb down in the nick of time. And they get that little bounce back. And good news for Ravens, they're back on defense, where they've had a ton of success.
Broke the seal on the offense. Here we go. Huntsman in on towards B with the bomb. Formal with the early exchange there versus Waskin's down low. You can hear the gunshots ringing out over towards the B site. Christini repositioning the bomb once again towards the backside of B. And now the lone defenders. Zero just holds his breath, waits for someone to come through here. Crucial position to be in. Zasti's just, these shots going through open mid, he's just trying to bait someone out. We're trying to catch something here. I don't think Pristini's running a snipe. He's got a bomb in hand, so he's going to be making his way forward quite quickly. But here we go, Chance. The clock is ticking. No one down either side. This could be the play on the bomb.
On out up top, just connect on 1. And these players starting to move down towards the middle map as well. That's where Chicago's putting in their work. RC's able to get that up top. Scraps though with the read, even up these odds. Ready for the second challenge, but no one there, and the bomb does get planted. 40 seconds on the clock.
Once again, trying to now defend the bomb site. Gets it down. Dead silence is about to be finished. The peek around the corner. He versus Waskin. The shots are there. He saw him retreat, but he does not have the kill. Scump in from behind. Finds 1. The shot's still ringing out as Scraps keeps his team in this one, and it's going to be Scraps on the stairwell. Scump wins a huge engagement, and now it's a 2 versus 2. Arcites keeping his team in this one, and it falls to Shawnee now. This is to push the round 11, and Shawnee makes it a 1 versus 1. How far can he go with a few seconds on the clock? Scump, he just has to check this. He just has to check it. He gets the kill, and the Huntsmen, they tie up the series after the 6-4 there on Ramaza.
Making up for that previous round, the King goes big and continues his S&D prowess. He was the man that got that clearance through the middle alley to get behind enemy lines. And it was weird to me for a moment. I think it was Pristini or Envoy when they saw Waskins run out the back door, why they didn't chase. And then we flip over to Scump. He gets the kill perfectly. He gets that house control. And again, those power positions are key. And Shawnee, I mean, I respect it. Hop the bomb, pop the deadie, try to make the play. But Scump at that point, easy reads for him. The important bounce back, and frankly, if I were to be forced to predict the series right now, it's going the way of opposite of what I would have expected. I thought the Ramaza Ravens were going to be in a pretty decent spot. Well, they were getting blooded left and right by Pristini's sniper. Envoy threw on a masterclass as well, and Scump went big in the rounds where he needed to most. And I thought the Ramaza hardpoint would have gone the other direction, but either way, it's tied up 1-1 Miles, and now we go into that ever-present domination.
Before we get into the domination first, the U.S. Air Force quick scope. Little overview of the match that we've got ahead of us. This was the record from the entire season. 23-10 overall for the Chicago Huntsmen. That's 84-52 in games. You can see, I mean, Chance, it's quite different. There's a real disparity between the two squads in the season.
And even in that direct head-to-head, right? Chicago and Ravens have played each other 3 times on the year. Chicago has beaten them 3-1 every single time with no exception. So Ravens right now, that storyline is still available. And of course, that domination, it has not been their saving grace. It has been their struggle game mode. But at the same time, they have played Chicago on this map one time, Gunner Dom. It was a 1-point game. The potential absolutely still there.
Well, that was your Maps and Modes brought to you by the US Air Force. We're almost ready to roll into this one. But first, our US Army tactical play. And again, this was a very, very good search, man. It was tough to call this one, but again, unbelievable stuff. Rastini with the snipe, time and time again, crucial for the Huntsman's victory.
And again, this is the first offensive round win that we actually saw. So this really was the difference maker for the team. And you actually see the conversion. This is when both players wrap back. And even though it's a 2v2, it's Scump here that knows where Dylan was. He's the man that's able to get those trades and make the job that much easier. And as soon as that pick comes through, Scraps, there's too many corners to check. He knows he has to hunt down Scump as well. And basically the pinch, the crossfire set up perfectly. Scump over towards the stairs from the window, and Formal, well, just waiting for the challenge to come out. But it was what, 6-7 fucking defenses like in a row, and finally team is able to make that break on offense. The difference maker.
It was also the difference maker for the Ravens as well. But man, unbelievable stuff. The search and destroy not going the way that the analysts thought. Again, this is going to be a tight series, mate. And the domination coming up next is going to be a very exciting one indeed. Can London continue to upset on the maps and modes that we don't think they'll win, or will Chicago walk away with the series? We'll find out after the break. This is the Call of Duty League.
He's a trying clutch. He can't do it. Here we go, another rampage inside the hill. He heard him. He gets it. He got it. He got it.
Rule your day with Metro by T-Mobile. Get one line of unlimited data for just $40, so you can catch the most epic dubs and replays all on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Rule your day with Metro.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro. Watch the best at their best with unlimited data from Metro, all on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Metro, everything you need to rule your day.
Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The United States Air Force. Learn more at airforce.com.
Save money at the restaurants you love with Grubhub Perks. Use code CDLCHAMPS at checkout to get free delivery.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League Championship Weekend. And that's what we're all playing for today. That fantastic monolith, that great trophy, symbolizing, what, a year of difficulty, a year of craziness. You get to take that bad boy home and put it somewhere where you certainly want it to be seen. Overlooking the Verdansk Stadium again. It's a lovely day here in Verdansk. We're all down underneath it though. We're underneath the stadium here as we take a little walk chance down the newly opened stadium here in the Warzone map Verdansk. And again, it's been a gorgeous weekend. We know some of you have seen the signs there pointing you towards this very stream today, but we're down low bringing the show to you live. Again, we wish we could all be out there with you. It truly would be something special. But we're having a lot of fun here, Chance. I must admit, mate, it's been great being on these little monitors down here. I mean, look at me. I'm in the game. I'm in the game.
It's been my dream always to be in a Call of Duty game, and now we've made it in a very strange way, but I will take it for the broadcast setup that we have. But frankly, I'm just looking forward to the actual gameplay because both maps that we've had have been down to the wire. 6-4 in the S&D, 26-point game I think it was that we had in the hard point, and I do not honestly expect the domination to be any different.
No, but Chance, let's face it, mate. Anything can happen here. It's Champs. We tend to forget all about whatever stats we have walking into the year because It all happens. Anyway, we've got some fun tweets on board here. This one comes from Gerbo XL. Whoa, shout out to Game Fuel and COD League for hooking me up with some ATL phase gear for the playoffs. Victory has never tasted sweeter than in this can. Look at that. It's nice Atlanta phase gear. He's got himself the red Game Fuel there to match up. Looks like Gerbo XL. We hope you're enjoying the show. And of course, Bleach X Stains as well. Shout out to the COD League and Game Fuel CDL for the free drinks. Nothing but dubs from here on out. I mean, that is a serious Game Fuel fan. I mean, between the mountain of controllers, the amount of cans there, his controller, everything you name it, this guy is on board. This is a
how many
fan.
webcams does that guy have? I see at least 2. I need to write down this ad and get this guy to hit me up so we can build my setup for me. But of course,
we got another one there.
We got more red.
We got more red, dude. We really do. Again, shout out to COD League for the free merch. This one from the Life with Will, 3 cans and the Dallas gear. We love that.
Is honestly just a great. Of course, he throws himself in the shot, so definitely a switch up from the setup that we had earlier. But either way, apparently red Game Fuel is a fan favorite. More red, by God, with a little bit of blue. But he is right. Dinner is served. What a guy.
What a guy indeed. Well, dinner is served there again for Drew Huntsman, the real Drew. Man, we can get him doing our Grubhub picks, I feel like, with this sort of stuff. But again, wonderful stuff. We hope the fans have all enjoyed the Game Fuel and the swag and all the good merch. It's been very, very exciting to see all that unfold. I'm covered in merch these days, man. I've never had so much between the Game Fuel and between the team merch and all sorts. You name it, the controllers. It's all here, man. It's just everywhere. I'm just out of reach for all of it at this point in time, Chance. But
must be nice.
It's great. What are we talking about? All this again coming at you live from the bottom of the stadium in Verdansk. But Chance, tell me a little bit about this upcoming domination, mate. We've got a bit.
This upcoming
big.
Domination. Yeah, it's big. This in my mind is just a map of opportunity, right? Ravens, for 90% of their series that they've had this year, they've been losing the game 3, and that is normal to them. But if they can get the win on domination, that's massive outright. And of course, to take the lead, it will be that much sweeter. So it's just an opportunity for them. Of course, the expectation, I think, for most people is this Chicago's map to lose effectively. They definitely have that clear-cut advantage in the domination, especially so on Gunrunner, where they're 6-2 on the year. They've been very comfortable, but it can just come down to that one moment, that one weird spawn that flips out over towards the C side of things. You just need one moment for the Ravens. That's what happened in the series against Toronto. They had a nice little swing where they were able to set up a triple cap for maybe 30-40 seconds, and little bumps like that can put you over the edge. That's the type of play that the Ravens are looking for. That's frankly the type of play that they're going to need.
It's probably going to happen at some point, Chance, for either of these teams. The coins are ready for the tossing. Here we go. Map number 3. Both teams tied up 1-1. Either squad looking to take the lead here in the series. And again, an elimination match. The loser goes home. The winner advances to that top 3. Here we go. Right off the rip. C and A flags captured. 0 Scraps find the opening kills. It looks like B is relatively safe right now as the Ravens cut their way through. Scraps can't quite get the third. Corner's little bunny off there makes it that bit harder. Now we see a lot of love towards that B flag. A massive win from Waskin there. But the trades come through, and it looks like it could be a Huntsman flag at B.
That's actually the perfect response as well, because all the kills early on went to the Ravens. They get that advantage, but then they get wiped collectively, and that means the B flag can go the way of the Huntsman. They could potentially get a good setup that they won. Envoy, frankly, if he's shooting like that, that is not going to be easy to stop. But actually, B flag never got capped. I thought the Huntsman were going to be able to get it with 2. They still had not quite that final tick has come through, and Strap's able to shut down potentially 2 players. Pristini finally there, and the B flag finally, after a minute of gameplay, goes to the Huntsman.
Finally goes to the Huntsman, but Chance, the real question is for how long can they hold on to this B flag with the Ravens now nipping at the heel. I think now is a great time to go into an Astro Gaming listen-in with the Chicago Huntsman.
He's on the heady,
Yeah, go see.
He had to run away. He pushed ramp, push ramp. He's
got one. I spawned A.
Oh, shit.
P3 weak.
We spawn back A still.
Yeah, I'm
neutral. Good neutral.
Good job.
I don't see anything boxes.
Yo, dirt. Let's go for B.
Let's go middle.
Behind me.
Go for B. I smoked ramp. He's gonna be dirt or green.
I'm nading P3. Grab shot me. Nice. That's shot me. One shot P3. P3 0. He's going back to the heady.
2. I got
nice. Good one.
Western weak.
Look at short. We're spawning short.
I'm looking short B.
He's I got one. There's another one in north.
That's okay.
They get fights.
I'm hopping.
Give you locking short.
Maybe mid.
I'm looking short. Yeah, they
get in your lockers.
I'm holding back.
On A, guys. On A. I'm lockers.
I'm wrapping back A. I'm wrapping back A with you.
A should be dead. I got him.
One of you guys cap that?
Someone cap that.
I'm capping.
I went first.
I always see.
Get my vent.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, water push out. Push out.
Vent.
Nice. I can get your vent now. Nice, good job. That's 30C. Someone block.
I got him. I'm blocking.
I'm
giving up A.
Oh, we both slid.
He's hurt.
Two on B, guys. I have a trophy there. I have a trophy on the 5
Nice work there from the Huntsmen to do a great deal of damage there, but not able to get too much of a lead. Now Chance, an incredible counterattack from the Ravens at hand.
Yeah, Wuskins goes huge. He was able to pick up 3 on the point. Now you got Chicago effectively turtled up and a little bit stuck on the backside of tracks. And well, Dylan does get beamed by Pristini, who can't quite find 0, but he got enough shots in that Scump's there for the cleanup kill. And we have 4 players for the Huntsmen trying to flood this D flag. And frankly, they are dropping every single Ravens player in sight to the point where Formal, he's going for that quick wrap back towards the safe flag. And you can see why, Dylan, as soon as he gets there, Formal is 1 step ahead.
Great job identifying the counterattack and stopping it from really manifesting there. It's going to be 0 trying to make his way in through that side of the forest, but the Huntsman on the defense, beautiful work. That was going to be Formal, number 1, far left-hand side of the minimap, and number 3 there. That's Envoy on the A flag. So beautiful crossfire there from the Huntsman to cut the players down from the Ravens, and here we go. Scraps trying to find an opening through the middle as Dylan once again pops smoke, charges right on through. The flank is safe once again as Formal's got his number. Formal takes care of the second now, and Envoy cleans house also. So the Huntsmen make the A side of the map safe. The overextension not quite possible there as the Ravens have to lick their wounds and back on up once again.
Huntsman nice and stable for the moment. You see that vent room control has been on point for the Huntsman. The comms were a stable point for those guys. But of course now Dylan smokes out. He doesn't have to flank this time. Just needs to get that pressure on the B flag. And well, only has 1 player to help him out, but at least gets the neutralization. You see in the feed, Dylan and Wuskins lighting it up. Someone's going to sprint through the smoke. Dylan able to clear that player out, but not enough clearance to get the cap. It's only the neutral that comes through. And you see Chicago, Johnny on the spot, right back to that B flag to capture it right back up.
Fantastic objective awareness there from the Chicago Huntsmen, making sure the flags don't really leave their hands for too long, and that is really what's allowing this very slight lead they've got now over the Ravens here in map number 3. 30 seconds remaining, give or take, as we go now towards the end of the first half. And the Huntsmen, it's been a long-fought battle, but they've just managed to pull this one away, Chance. And again, we heard the comms, we've seen the positioning from them so far. It's been a great run of events now. Can the Huntsmen repeat that success in the second half? Will the Ravens be able to do what they can to bounce back?
It's going to be a little bit more than a 20-point lead going into the second half. Not the best situations for the Ravens to be in, but I think they flip over towards good side, so it is not out of the realm of possibility. But I will say, just the amount of control Huntsman had that entire time. You got Formal at 13-5. That just means he gets to post up and just take these easy gunfights in the back. And of course, we know he's not going to miss, and the snap is on point as well. But just basically a super stable game, right? You get the AB set up, Ravens start putting the pressure on the B, you get the clearance, and then the immediate wrap backs every single time we're coming through for the Huntsmen. And then Ravens respond and go to A. They get dealt with. Now they have to try for the B push, but Huntsmen consistently were 1 step ahead and want to take full advantage of the 24-point lead that they have.
Excited to see how this round's going to open up. A grab looks like there may be, yeah, it's going to be overextension towards A. It's going to be Pristini hitting the wrap immediately. Is anyone there on the defense? It's going to be Shawnee. He wins the fight. He keeps the flag safe for now. Scump's there as well. Does Shawnee take them both out and keep that A flag safe? It looks like the teammates have managed to win the battle over towards B. Scump keeps the run in the middle of the map going, and they're not giving up on A. They're all in, mate. It's done. A flag is now looking very vulnerable. It's only on Wuskins on the defense. He goes down. Ravens now have to scatter from that B flag back in towards A. Try to make something happen. In the meantime, they're capturing C. I mean, we're spinning plates over here, boys. We truly are.
Yeah, you were right about that A flag being a little bit tasty for the Huntsmen, but actually, yeah, Dylan might want to go back and actually capture that flag, get that final tick to come through. So right now, it is a 2-flag setup for the Ravens, and frankly, all the pressure Huntsmen just put to go capture this A flag, they can't even get it. The triple cap ends up coming through, and yes, they should be good to get C back quickly. But we have, what, a 24-point lead at the half? There's been just over a minute that's gone, and they've already reduced that lead to 9, and they still able to stabilize with the AB setup. The Ravens, this has been the biggest moment of the game so far.
Great moment of the game so far for them, and I'd love to hear it from their own mouths. Chance, it's time for an Astro Gaming Listen In with the London Royal Ravens.
I need one more P3, Sean. P3, I didn't coach you. One shot, I didn't coach you. Finish, guys. Gonna heady weak, Scum.
Heady dead.
Kills, Getting benched. You're off in the vent, I'm pushing it. I'm playing saving. I'm fighting vent now. And boil. Really can boil, he can be.
Four.
Let's go.
One's already off spawn, it's free.
Remember captain sees well.
Gonna push out the back, push out the back. I spawn back door.
In the corner, Troy. Back C.
All over.
Almost back left C.
I want to go B using it. They're going B.
I spawn B. Can I be? I spawn B.
I'm going to BC.
Help him. Vent dead. Can you guys,
I smoked it too.
You've gone off. One's on the cart as well.
Wait, no, you give me
cart there. I got naded. I got naded.
Boil B.
I'm gonna help me. Push me out, dead. I'm not
missing him out, One's in vent. They're gonna spawn P3.
Spawn back C. I'm going off P3, Sean.
I spawn back. He went forward, Michael, you.
I blocked the back spawn, we can get in now.
Oh, mate,
dead. One more P3. He's coming to boxes.
He going for it.
boxes, guys. MY boxes.
Dead.
Space, dead. Nice, guys. P5. He's in P5.
Smoke that half. Yeah, let's go B.
I'll be annoying.
Wait, Trey. I'm needing out.
Okay.
Wait, Trey, go back.
Back A, dead.
And after listening, it's approximately a 15-point game, give or take, as both squads now trying to push this one the distance. Scraps and COD with a very fast neutral on B. How much real estate can they buy, Chance? I mean, the battle is now about to be brought to them. Formal from up top. The shots were there. He sadly finds a teammate. 2 minutes now remain. The Ravens desperately trying to claw back into this.
They're going to have to, for at least about a minute and a half of this final 2 minutes, hold this two-flag setup. And, of course, for Chicago, potentially maybe a C push eventually going to come in. That's why Wuskins is posted up in the back. But, frankly, over towards B, the clearance is good for the Ravens, able to get a ton of kills. And now when they're coming off spawn, because they got the wipe on, have that complete map coverage spread across the board, plays in the power position. Ravens working on this comeback.
Keep working, though. And here we go. Rossini making his way through the middle of the map. You can see that B flag pretty much secure. It's going to be Dylan on the defense. He may look for the overextension should he want it. Scrapsman's a big one there, down by the C flag. There's still a few huntsmen out and about looking to take care of him. Sorry, Scum. He finds it. He can't quite get the second. It was Scraps that loses the fight over there by the C flag. My apologies. It's going to be A now going into the hands of the Ravens. Former on Envoy now trying to secure this one. Envoy on the hunt. Shawnee gets cut down immediately. Wuskins, though, he still stayed alive on the B flag. This could be a little bit more damaging than expected. Is this now a 12-point game? If the Huntsman can get back onto this one and Ravens finally secure B. Oh, Chance. Back and forth we go, mate. Back and forth we go. Final minute.
Yeah, 45 seconds left, 11-point game. The Ravens two-flag setup is not going to be enough. Eventually, they're going to have to make the play, but they are getting decimated along the way. Dylan tries to be the playmaker. Formal always there in the B flag neutral, potentially getting capped up by Scum, but Scum doesn't need the flag. He needs the kill. Able to pick up one, and now starting to push out to look for even more.
Going, 25 seconds now remaining. And again, where is London going to be making the push from? They've got to get themselves onto the B flag. They have to have someone overextend towards A as well. 20 seconds remain. It's still relatively tight, but Chance, it could well be it. 15 seconds on the clock. And with these final few shots, we could be seeing the Huntsman taking the lead in this series. It is going out with a bang. Tied up 1-1 after the exciting search and destroy. And now after the Dom, 2 great rounds. Huntsman will finally take the lead in the series, 2-1.
Taking that lead and feeling good because of it. Again, this domination for the Ravens, in my mind, a map of opportunity. Not expected that they're going to get the win. They can honestly almost go into these series and just be prepared to make sure that their S&D and their hard points need to be on point because of that Game 3 sort of falter mode. It's the exact situation that we see. And of course, from map 4, we're going to be into a St. Petro hardpoint, where we've seen already just last weekend how good the Ravens can be on this map. This is where Shawnee went crazy, dropped I think 10 more kills than anyone else in the lobby with 2 minutes inside the hardpoint. You're going to need that kind of game out of him. You're going to need the Ravens to play at their best, because right now we saw how calm and controlled the Huntsmen were that entire side of domination effectively. Right now they're full steam ahead.
Here's your stats. Slow one from 0 at 9:19, but overall, I mean, it was the flag engagements. Both sides really jostling quite well there in the Dom. We'll have a look at our damage dealt lead one in just a moment as well, Chance. I mean, this has been a great series so far, mate. This really has. It's far from over, but now it's do or die time for the London Royal Ravens. And, mate, again, they have to play the very best Call of Duty they've literally played all year long, just to manage to find a win over these teams. They haven't managed to beat the Huntsmen once. We've seen a home series final with them. It was a 3-1 victory to the Huntsmen there. No one's really come close. Is this the day to get it done? I mean, how far has London got to go to try to find a win here against these superstars?
It's a long road ahead, right? Just how difficult it is. Like, you have one championship as a total combined for the entire team of the Ravens, and that's 0. He won a tournament back in IW. It's been a long time since any of these players have tasted gold. And then you go to the flip side. Chicago's won a couple tournaments just this year, and it's not just total tournaments win that they obviously just blow the Ravens out of the water, especially with that T2P duo. You also have 4 world champions on the side of the Huntsmen. It is champs time. This is when those players are at their absolute best. And even the stat line we just saw, right? Like, Formal's having a casual game, going with like a 1.6, 1.7 KD. Scump's dropping 24, leading the lobby. Like, this is the best Scump we have seen this entire year, and he's had a good year anyway. He's just kicked it up a notch for this tournament. They just seem to be in full control. They just seem to be very clean right now. And in my mind, again, it's just so difficult, I think, for the Ravens to try to get the bounce back. But again, St. Petro, they've done it before.
They've done it before, and they can do it again. But now we have a quick look at the PS4 damage dealt leaderboards so far in this match. And again, it's going to be 0 leading the charge there at 3,696 damage. This is from the hard point. Shawnee close up behind him at the quad 3s, and we love to see that. Up after that, it's going to be RC Scump and Envoy. I mean, 0, he was looking fantastic in that first hard point chance. There was back on Ramaza. And now we roll into a repeat performance to keep London in this one. Absolutely ideal.
And I think for the side of London, obviously 0 does need to have a nice bounce back game in the hard point, but a couple players not on this list that I think might make an appearance on the St. Petro, it's going to be that AR battle, right? Wuskins has been incredible all year, and he's going against like a West Coast formal. So in my mind, Wuskins need to take full advantage of that tiny little server thing that they have going their way and make sure that he's the guy piecing up, lighting up in the feed with that M4 and being that main guy. And of course, Shawnee in the background, he's the guy pulling out the extra M4, the flex guy that does whatever he needs to for the team. Also needs to be at his best, because right now for Scump, guns are hot for Formal and RCDs, and just across the board. We've already said it about 17 times, Miles, but again, we have to say it again. The Ravens need to be at their absolute best for this.
Need to force that game 5 for the Ravens, but for the Huntsmen, this is it. A win here on this hard point will get them into that top 3 position here at Champs. We're almost ready to roll into this match now, mate. I mean, just thinking back on what a crazy year it has been. It's been true drama for the London Royal Ravens. It's been up and down team changes and trades happening for the Huntsmen. They've gone from true glory with a couple of victories in the home series, and now you find themselves in the lower bracket. One more map is all they need, and Petrograd could be the one to do it, and T2P continue the reign. Again, the storylines of Christini and Astes able to go back-to-back as champions, as world champions. This map's going to see it.
Potentially $150,000 map, St. Petrograd hardpoint of all of them. St. Peter Griffin for the beans potentially in the end. And again, as you pointed out, a couple of these players looking for their second ring, but obviously it's only Saturday and we still have 2 more days, well, at least today and tomorrow of COD left to play. Ton of action left, and obviously some killers waiting in their wings for the next series. But Huntsman starting on that good side on St. Petro, get off to a good start here and set yourself up long term for that success.
You see that one lone player there from London trying to make the flank. It's an absolute war raging on the top side of the apartments. Ravens do come out on top. Astes there with a hard point time. The first 10 is gone. It's been perfect so far for them. Envoy now trying to catch this player Scraps out. Keep the hard point player safe. Scump's got the flank covered. So far, so good for the Huntsman. Another 20 seconds go by. Relatively uncontested. And Chance is looking great so far. It looks like the Ravens have kind of given up somewhat on the hard point, and they're really trying to fight in towards second hard point.
And frankly, that's just a bunch of one-on-ones that Chicago comes out on top. Formal wins his one against Wuskins. That's the big AR battle. And Scump on the flank was able to hit his one-on-one. You actually see Shawnee has been able to wrap and go all the way around and try to fight for new. Chicago hunt him down and don't even have to give up any hard point time to make it happen. The kill feed lighting up in their favor. Alex starting off 4-0 and gets 3 in the feed right there. They get, what, 50-something seconds on the P1, and they win the rotation as well. The perfect start from the
Beautiful. Can they keep it going? Scump, Christini, Envoy. The kill feed is all Huntsman right now. They will not stop. Formal finally dies at 5-1. A bit of Pristini. Hardpoint times his. Nades coming through. And again, just trying to soften up the defender. But there's so many good angles being covered right now by the Huntsman. It's incredibly difficult to make their way onto the point. Now the London are here. The flood is on. The kills are there. So go the trades. Spawns to the back now. Envoy trying to find something here. You can hear the player above him. Finally catches it. Look left, look right. Headset's on the right way today. As Arstes now makes his way forward, a couple of kills still going the way of the Marshall brothers on point. Dylan finally goes down, Scraps goes down, Zero's going to be there now to try to break the hard point. A lone push is not going to be able to get much done. Rotation's now already underway, Chance, and it's going to be Shawnee in on towards Hazmat.
Yeah, well, if they get that guaranteed rotation, CC Scraps effectively just setting up for these sort of spawn kills, trying to keep the Huntsman trapped as far back in the map as possible. And you see exactly where Pristini spawns up. He has to trek all the way across the map to make this happen. But either way, it is what? An 80-point lead right now for the Huntsman. The Hazmat Hill, the way I see it, if they can just get not necessarily the full break contest for 15, 20 seconds, and as long as they secure the rotation, I'm calling it a win. And of course, for the Ravens, they just want that perfect full 60 to get themselves right back into this game.
Pristini's going to try to do something about that. Now in from behind, finds one. It's going to be Shawnee up next. Ruskinslow's got his number. The good kill there just to keep the flank safe, keep the spawn still good for now. And number 6, man, is already looking for that payment. And it's Scraps who's sitting in the middle, trying to secure the transition towards the pool. The next hard point coming up here in Petrograd. Ravens now in the position. Great time goes their way, and it's on Scraps. The next battle is going to be absolutely huge. If he can stay alive in this position, he honestly could set the squad up for a great run towards the next hard point.
Well, he hasn't found a kill yet, and of course, in the hill, actually, Scump, by the way, just went pretty big. He was able to pick up 2 kills and to get the contest time, and he's been able to just strip away so much time on the clock, and he's able to pick up even more. So you have massive plays on one end from Scump, and of course, the rotation. Yes, Scraps was able to sneak through, but he effectively just put his team in a 4v5 because he got 0 kills along the way. He's hiding in a corner. He's not blocking any spawns. Now, Huntsman say, thank you very much. Had no idea Scraps was back here, and it doesn't even matter. He dies immediately. The rotation is there, and the Huntsmen continue what has effectively been a perfect game for them so far on St. Patrick's.
Tough one for Scraps there. That was a long and pointless life, and now it's done. Back into the mix we go. Arstes formal Scum, finding the kills. It's going to be Envoy on top of the tables. It's bad manners usually, but right now, a power position for this young man. 10-6 overall for Arstes. Can't quite find any more. Shawnee cuts him down before getting into the hard point. It falls out of Pristini. Pristini shots down on the immediate prone under the table. Just keeping these players back, and it's once again Envoy, 11-6. 3 kills in a row for him. Keeping the Huntsman looking very mean and sharp whatsoever. 10 seconds remaining now, Chance, and mate, this is an absolute bloodbath. The Ravens are starting to look a little bit thin here, and this is a bad look. They've got a chance now to bounce back as they've got solid control towards Restaurant, but can the Huntsman close this out and push that lead even further?
I've heard those Ravens might be leaving that tower. They do have Restaurant secure early on, but even a full 60, they're still going to be down by quite a bit, so they have their work absolutely cut out for them. Dylan, though, staying alive inside the point, and you see Huntsman right now, all that pressure being put on the front side, a bunch of players potentially trying to come in through B-Dom, and Dylan, well, able to find at least 1 kill inside the point, a big 1v1 as well, but then Alec comes through, picks up 2, 14-7 for the world champ, and you got Chicago right back inside the hill, right back in control.
I mean, the line to get in a Restaurant was going out and around the block here, and this is it. Huntsmen are in. Good opening kills now from the Ravens. Can they make it 4 in a row? No. Pristini gets involved. Envoy from down low gets 2. He's going to stay alive. 15 seconds remaining, and Envoy, he may as well net that time himself. Over we go now to a new one. But Huntsman making the best of every bad situation the Ravens try to even put them in, and there's not many at this point, Chance. Pristini once again, a good set of kills. Now you've got control towards the first, and it's all going to come down. Well, it was Shawnee, and now he's dead. Huntsman with a hard point.
With the hard point and as well the mid-map spawn. I thought for a second Zero might end up forcing good spawns for the Huntsman, but inside the hill it's going to be a little bit chaotic. Scraps right now just trying to heal up around this back fan, and frankly you have effectively just a face smash on the hill. 3v3 for both teams. Trades are coming through, and for the moment the Huntsman out on top, but obviously a ton of contest time, but in the feed Scump able to pick up 3, and that's just enough to get that control to push out just a little bit as they continue to run the score up.
Envoy once again, another 2 there on point. Arstes getting involved from upstairs. Scump's already on the rotation. He's just managed to slip one through. Shawnee goes down there on the point, and once again the Ravens are starting to falter. The feathers are flying out of the wings right now. They are looking very much grounded. Final 10 seconds here on the first, and they've tried to contest it for as long as possible. That's going to be the last few moments. Now eyes goes towards the next. It's the mental game of London now. They have to maintain this pressure. They've got control for the time being. The crossfire comes through though. It's going to be Arstes with the shots. How many more? Oh boy. Oh boy. How many more can the Huntsman find here on spawn? Envoy is putting on a clinic, Chance. He's dealing the damage at every possible angle. We're going to see 200 points cracked in just a moment. The Huntsman have yet to truly break it, but this is disgusting from Chicago.
This looks like they're just trying to warm up for the rest of the day. The road on Saturday for either one of these teams only gets more difficult from here, but obviously the Huntsmen in full control. Maybe not the worst hill in the world, right? 30 seconds left on the point. Raven looks like they're going to be able to get nice and secure with it. They get that team wipe, and Huntsmen now forced to rotate. But at the same time, anytime I look at the scoreboard, it is just so far and away above in favor of the Huntsmen, who going into Hazmat Hill, as long as they don't completely drop the ball, stabilize, and even get 30 seconds on board, they're going to be in a fantastic spot to win the game. So, of course, for the Ravens, they're going to need this break. They somehow have to find a way to maybe not win the rotation, but get in this hill in the next 10 or 15 seconds.
Could be it. This could be the very last map you see the London Royal Ravens play, unless they can get something going here. Into Hazmat they go. From upstairs, Zero cut down immediately. Envoy once again holding the line. This is the Chicago Huntsman's Hazmat building. Arcity's posted up towards the rear. There is 40 seconds remaining on the hardpoint clock. Dylan finally manages to make his way in. A 1 versus 1 now against Pristini as Zero takes care of that. Once again, the Huntsman still pushing forward. It's been a decent break. Dylan with another clean kill there. And this is a good look as the Huntsman now spawning on the far left-hand side. Ravens chance. They may have bought themselves a lifeline.
I mean, honestly, a beautiful hill, chipped away a ton of time, and they are still going. It looks like finally there might be the clearance, but Dylan able to pick up 3 before he gets dropped, and it looks like those final 15 seconds actually might be contested. You have Ravens pouring on all the pressure, trying to strip away every single second that it can, and frankly, those are at least a great attempt, a great idea. But of course, it's going to be Huntsman, 20 points away, and they win the game. But we go into another money hill where potentially a full 60 can get locked down. But again, Ravens, they had a beautiful job on Hazmat. They still have to play damn near perfect.
Have to play perfect. They do have the hard point for now, but you can see the Huntsman spawning all around them, and it's going to be number 4. It's going to be Scum. He's going to make the entry kill if he can on the shorty. He catches him nading. Scum's in the hard point. He manages to get in there, and now it's on a Waskin to try to make the break. But there you go. Arcities, the rest of the Huntsmen show up. Scum gets a good spawn, leads the charge, and now you've got Pool Hall. You have to break this now, London. You have to get in there now, get in there and go, as the contest is going to be there for a moment. But Scum, he may have just put his team in a great position to push this game further.
20 seconds left, and again, Raven, it is do or die. They've done just enough on this hill, just about, to make sure that they can't lose it here. Of course, so that rotational restaurant, well, they get that first entry kill. Shawnee able to win his one-on-one, and they are keeping this game alive. All that pressure on the backside, they're trying to stack up around restaurant, and we go again. 3 hills in a row now that the Ravens could have lost on it, but they are still have fight in them. Still trying to make these plays, and Shawnee, again, still alive in the heart.
Bombs have got to be clear. Time now to just sort of forget how to feel and play your heart out. Scraps trying to find these players upstairs. He's got shots in. Dylan, Zero find the kills. One remaining member there of the Huntsman upstairs. As once again, the Ravens have to play this absolutely perfectly. 35 seconds remain. They have to hold on. They have not had a lot of success in this hard point. Scum waiting for the opportune time to go for the break. There's the first kill. Now he makes his way forward. The King has risen and he's making his way onto the point. Can't get another one there on the Shawnee. Arseny's there to pick up the pieces. That could well be it, Chance. That could well be the map 5 now for the win. Huntsmen are looking to break into the top 3 here, and that's it. The contest is there. Envoy with the kills. It's done. The Chicago Huntsmen finish it up there in the hard point, and they will move on to the elimination finals.
Would you have it any other way? The final 3 teams we have to survive this year to fight their way on champs. It is the teams that from day 1 were the top 3 in the game. And frankly, there's really been no clear-cut moment where any team has held that number 1 spot permanently, where it's been divisive, or decisive, I should say. Today and tomorrow will be the decider who can reign king, but frankly, for the Huntsmen, hell of a series they just had. They falter on the map 1 Ramaza. A couple spawns just frankly do not go their way, but after that, full steam ahead. Clutched up in the search and destroy, cruise control for the domination, and then flip the switch and kick it up a notch for that final hardpoint. They got the ball rolling, and they effectively turned that into a $150,000 warm-up match to get ready to be fed potentially to the beast, where the juggernauts now are going to be going at it. 3 teams left, Miles, and as expected, the 3 best teams in the game.
It's poetic, almost. The With the Cinderella stories come to an end, the clock has struck 12 and Cinderella's not going to the ball. But London, what a season it had been for them and an incredible way to turn it around with a top 4 finish here. But alas, we do say a very, very fond farewell to the London Royal Ravens here at the Call of Duty Championship weekend. But yeah, you're right, mate. The top 3 are now set. The elimination finals are gearing up. We've, of course, got the Huntsmen in there. They will play the loser of Dallas versus Atlanta coming up next. After this one, of course, that's our big game coming out later today. Wow, what a series that was, man. What a series that was. Let's have a quick look at our scuff player, the game chance. It was going to, of course, be that Restaurant Hill. The final few moments, the exciting conclusion to this hard point. Actually, no, it wasn't the conclusion. It was just the Restaurant Hill because it was insane. It was just chaos.
If you say so. Genuinely can't remember it. There's too much that happened in this game, but already what I'm seeing is, in my mind, just that scoreboard. How basically straight across the board, Formal 14-4, he's hanging out. Alec with the other AR, that secondary guy, also keeping up that level of production. And Huntsman, again, just the lead that they're able to accrue for themselves. Envoy with a perfect hip fire to pick up quite a few of these players. It was straight across the board, right? Everyone played out of their minds. They took turns on who was going to go off. I think this map, it was Envoy that was able to throw up, I think, 31 kills on board with like 1 minute and 45 seconds in the hill. He played fantastic, but it is just everyone firing on all cylinders. And frankly, one of the bigger storylines potentially we've had for the Huntsmen is last weekend, even with the success that they did have, you had the Twins, right? Like a .76 and .78 respectively for both Pristine and Arcades. This series alone, they are just playing out of their mind. Some of the best Call of Duty we've seen from these teams all year long. And of course, you see them making it to that losers final, waiting for this next match to be completed to see who they have to go against.
It was a 3-1. I think it was Pac-Man called the 3-1 victory. Nameless had a 3-2, and it could have gone either way. When you look back to how tight the the search and destroy was, because of course the hard point was a relatively open and shut case. London did a great job there under Ramaza, but that search, man, there were a few rounds where it really could have gone either way. I mean, the opening 4 rounds. The first 2 went to the clock, and it was just defense after defense after defense. Mate, what a series that really was. Well, we've got a little bit more news coming your way, of course, here at the Championship weekend. But challenges, mate. Challenges, Chance. We've got some news. We've got our regional winners of the Call of Duty League challenges. And for APAC, and again, I say good day to my mates, Sets, Pred got it done. There's Crimsa there, Fighter, and Swifty. They managed to win that one. And the European side of things, it was going to be Team War. No massive surprise there. They were dominant all year long. Vortex, Harry, Dave, Denza, and Afron. What a name that is. In the North American side of things, it was Triumph. It was going to be On the North American side of things, it was going to be Triumph, Standing Royalty, and again, Nagafen's there, Fellow, and Diamond. Beautiful stuff. Again, massive congratulations to the challengers to the champions of challenges. Let's just say there. But there we are, mate. What a crazy year it really has been. We're going to now dive over to Lando, who I believe has got our PlayStation instant reaction with someone. Chance, I mean, I can imagine who it could be. I mean, do you want to talk to Envoy? Do you want to talk to Pristine, Arstes, maybe even God? Who knows? You know what?
Talk to all of them.
Well, why don't we find out in just a moment as we roll across the bottom floor of Verdansk here and find out who he's chatting to. Lando, take it away.
Thank you so much, Miles. Yes, it is your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation. I'm Lando, and joining me is good old Envoy from the Chicago Huntsmen. Envoy, what, man? The last time that we talked, it was in that big, Game 5, Round 11 versus OGLA. I think Maven deemed it the 1v1 heard around the world. Tell me, does a clutch like that ignite the team with confidence now coming in here to Champs Weekend?
Oh, it for sure does. I mean, we have so much momentum behind ourselves after, that win, and now this win versus the Ravens. We feel unstoppable.
Well, I got to ask you too, right? Kind of on topic with that, the team manages to get the job here done versus the Ravens, kind of in kind of that same kind of, well, I could say kind of and level with that debate or that conversation about momentum. It wasn't an easy task here versus London, but do you guys feel like the week break you have here versus London kind of helped you overall in the series, considering how hot that this London team looked in that elimination bracket?
It might have. I know for all the teams, it was actually really hard to get practice this week. And I mean, I know London didn't even scrim this morning, and we got a scrim in versus Dallas, luckily. So I feel like we were a lot more warm than they were coming into the series.
Now I got to ask you too, in terms of, search and destroy, we talk about, how this has kind of been deemed as, at least from your team, from an Outwork perspective, it's kind of been deemed on like, is this really the mode for Chicago Huntsmen that they can kind of rely on? You guys managed to get it here versus the Ravens, kind of been deemed as a very solid S&D team throughout the entirety of the year. How does search and destroy feel right now for the team?
It feels honestly probably like our best game mode. In the month break leading up to playoffs, our S&D improved immensely, and we actually expanded our map pool to basically all the maps. So we can play any of them now, whereas parts of the year we couldn't play some of the maps, or we weren't as confident in playing those. So S&D wins championships, like people say. So it's definitely the best game mode to be good at all the maps on.
That's for sure, man. Well, that was your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation Envoy. Thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck later today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Champs Weekend has only just begun, folks. When we come back after the break, it is our Game Fuel marquee matchup, Atlanta FaZe versus Dallas Empire. Don't go anywhere.
Going to be an absolute banger to start off the day here again.
Just trying to hunt these players down. It's only Scump that's left over or towards Kentuckian side, and of course all this time in the hill still has been going the way of the Ravens. The best start they could have asked for.
Scraps wins a big one. That's going to be number 3 in a row. Huntsmen have to contest. They've got to get on the point. The Ravens have managed to make it clean, and with that, a few more seconds, the Ravens could call map number 1 theirs.
True push onto this side.
In the top, and again, that sniper has yet to really come into play, but the pistol shot has Envoy now, takes the top of a Dylan. He wins the second against Waskin there. Beautiful stuff. Scump breaks right through the bottom door, finds Shorty. The shots are there from Waskin. The trade come through. Waskin versus Formal. 1 versus 1, and Waskin wins it. Oh my word, Chance. Scump, he just has to check this. He just has to check it. He gets the kill.
Chicago hunt him down and don't even have to give up any hard point time to make it happen. The kill feed lighting up in their favor. Alex starting off 4-0.
Huntsmen are looking to break into the top 3 here, and that's it. The contest is there. Envoy with the kills. It's done.
Rule your day with Metro by T-Mobile. Get 1 line of unlimited data for just $40, so you can catch the most epic dubs and replays all on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Rule your day with Metro.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro.
Watch the best at their best with unlimited data from Metro. All on T-Mobile's nationwide 5G network. Metro. Everything you need to rule your day. Thank you to Xperia by Sony, official mobile partner of the Call of Duty League. The new Xperia 1 Mark II smartphone brings you the ultimate mobile gaming experience, with a cinema-wide 4K OLED display and more technology to enhance your gameplay. Tournament audio and team chat listenings are brought to you by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League. Join the Astro family and order the CDL A40 TR headset and Pro Team speaker tags today at astrogaming.com. Mountain Dew Game Fuel, the official energy drink of the Call of Duty League.
It all comes down to this. 3 teams remain battling it out for that glorious trophy. But it is time for our Game Fuel marquee match. And Joe, we've got 2 squads in FaZe and Empire now in our winners bracket final that have faced off a lot this year, more than any other team. They have played 6 times this year. FaZe has owned it 5-1. Are you pumped and ready to go, Joe?
The 2 best teams in our league, the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed. This is what you want, right, Clint? You got Chicago, the number 3 seed. They just won a match. As you said, the top 3 teams in the world. It all comes down to a couple more matches.
Oh, this is going to be nuts. This is going to be absolutely nuts. It's crazy. Think about the entire year, all the matches, all the home series, and the 3 most consistent teams, the 3 top teams throughout the course of the year. Well, they're the 3 teams left as we go to bang these matches out over the next 2 days, but this is going to be absolutely wild, and we're going to be doing our Astro MVP postseason award tomorrow. So we've got more awards coming, more stuff to showcase for the primetime talent that have gone off in the playoffs and in championship weekend. And Joe, look at what they're going to be taking home.
Ooh, that is pretty. Who doesn't want to be the MVP, especially in the postseason? You want to win the championship, and that's what these guys are going for. It's a little tough, though, right? Because for teams like Atlanta and Dallas, they've only played 1 match and went to a Game 5. That, and I'm sure it will be. But you look at the likes of the Huntsman, right? And I'm like, Scump had a pretty darn good week last week. He might be leading the way for me.
It could be, he could be, but our Game Fuel featured player for this matchup is going to be Simp. What a special talent he has been ever since really coming onto the scene. Last year, he was lights out, impressed at his very first debut event, instantly was one of the top players in the game, and he's going to be crucial for the FaZe side in this matchup today.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about really, you look at these 2 squads, it's the young guns. Simp, Abizi, Cell on one side going up against Shotzi.